Good afternoon, evening, everyone. Jumping on to cover the potential tornado outbreak today, this evening. And I already have a couple tornadoes that are on the ground right now, currently happening, one in Illinois, one in Iowa. So we'll go ahead and jump into those right now. But thank you, everybody, for jumping on. Thank you, Kay, for being here. Let's see here if I can get that pulled up for everybody. Let's see here. So here's your current in Illinois, current tornado on the ground, potentially dangerous situation by the National Weather Service, confirmed tornado spotter by a spotter here northwest of Lewistown in Illinois. Have a very good tight rotation on this storm. So right here, we'll go ahead and put the storm tracker on it, first storm tracker of the day, and straighten it out for everybody. So it's going to be going straight through to south of St. Davis. Looks like, see if we can see a CC drop on there. We have a debris signature on this tornado as well. So definitely a tornado on the ground doing active damage for this storm. So we'll go ahead and time this out. We're going to be looking at the counties. Let me get my warning window up here. Fulton and Mason County in Illinois has a potentially dangerous situation happening right now for tornadoes. Tornado on the ground confirmed by a spotter. So this is going to be going south of Bryant and St. Dave, right across the State Route 78, going towards Banner, Illinois. So that's going to be your one tornado that we have there. Currently on the ground, confirmed by a spotter. Very tight rotation on it. Pretty big supercell. You can see the natural hook to it on there as well on your base reflectivity. So definitely something that we are seeing confirmation of a dangerous tornado happening there in Illinois. Let's go over to the Iowa one. That one was confirmed as well earlier today. So let's see here. I'll jump over to that one for you guys. Get everything organized here. So let's see. Iowa has a confirmed tornado on the ground as well. That's going to be here just to the south of the Des Moines area, southeast of Des Moines. And you can see right here, it's going to be going towards Sully and Linville. Pretty good rotation on this one as well. This was confirmed on the ground by the public and a train spotter as well. And so definitely if you're in those that area, you need to be in your safe place. They just let that one expire, which is interesting because there's a good rotation on there. But we'll see what they do with that. They did let it expire. But here's the reports right here that we had for this tornado. We had some debris reported southeast of Milo. That was by the emergency manager there. We have a confirmed touchdown by the public. It was kind of an up and down. It kind of sounded like near the intersection of Highway 5 and Highway 92 was this one right here by a train spotter, and another train spotter confirmed the tornado on the ground for that storm. So looks like it could be recycling a little bit, has some good rotation in there as well. So if you're in the Linville area, you guys, they did let the tornado warning expire. That last image right there was a good image. The rotation has kind of weakened significantly, so there's nothing there with that one for sure. That's going to be a severe thunderstorm warning still until 8:30 p.m. Central Standard Time for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and half-dollar size hail. If that could spin up at any second, so if you're in those areas, make sure you have your weather alerts on, as that could definitely spin up at any time. So let's see here. Back down to our Illinois storm. That's the one that's confirmed on the ground, potentially dangerous situation there in Illinois. And we'll take a look at that one as well. So that's the one in Illinois there. Still very good rotation with that one. Just going into the Bryant area in Illinois there. We'll zoom out and give you kind of a look at the Illinois area. Lots of confirmations with this one as well. We have a confirmed by a storm chaser of a tornado on the ground, also quarter size hail from that storm chaser, as well as a tornado on the ground from a broadcast media source, whether it says like a weather or a radio station, that's what it could be as well. So there's your confirmed tornado on the ground, guys, going into Bryant now, passing over the State Route 100. So that one's got the storm tracker on there. They're headed towards St. Davis here. And I'd say in the next 15 minutes, we'll see how fast this one's moving. This one's going to be moving at 45 miles an hour northeast. So I would say that one's going to be to you guys in St. Davis here in the next 10 minutes at least. So definitely letting that shrink down in the polygon size. I'm guessing they're going to reissue a tornado warning with that one as well. We'll check and see if we see a debris signature. We did see a little bit of a debris signature there with that last image as well. Um, Good hail core in this one as well. That one's where it had the quarter size hail on radar. It's 2.6 inches, 2.06 inches of hail, radar indicated. So good hail core with that. We could be seeing a little bit of a hail spike in there. Hard to say with that last image that came through, but this was confirmed on the ground by a trained spotter, and that's got some pretty good rotation in there still. So this one expires here, let's see, in about 10 minutes, and we'll see if they reissue this one. I'm guessing they will, and if they do, you'll hear it live here on the air pop up as well. But that's their only tornado warning happening right now in the United States. The one in Iowa did expire, which is good. But it's just getting started, guys. It's been a little slow today, already getting started for tornadoes, but the threat's going to transfer more to the south later on this evening and go into the late evening, overnight hours, which is always a dangerous situation when you have tornadoes at night. So we'll go ahead and look at some of the hail here. Estimated 2.5 inches of hail by the media there, another 2 inches estimated. So it's a pretty good hail inside that core there. Very good rotation, tight rotation, small, but good rotation. Going to the north of Bryant right now, still headed towards that David area. There's your new tornado warning there.
For northeastern Fulton County in west central Illinois, west central Tazewell County in central Illinois, southwestern Peoria County in central Illinois.
Okay, so that's going to be an extension of that same tornado warning that we're looking at right now here in Illinois. So still this only tornado warning, but still a particularly dangerous situation happening by the National Weather Service, deemed particularly dangerous because it is on the ground, confirmed by a trained spotter. So that is in Illinois right there. You just saw the new warning pop up there on your stream as well. And so St. David needs to be in their safe place. That new tornado warning now includes the Peoria and Tazewell counties. So Fulton, Peoria, and Tazewell are now underneath a particularly dangerous situation from the National Weather Service here in Illinois. So that is your confirmed tornado warning there on the ground. So let's see here. So again, as I was saying, our threat's going to go into the night and transfer more to the south as we go later into the night. It's been a little slow, and we're hoping that things continue to progress downwards, and hoping for a bust today. It hasn't been a bust because we still have tornadoes, right? But hopefully it's not an outbreak like we did have on Friday last week. That was a crazy stream if you guys were here for that as well. So again, if you're just now joining me, thank you so much. I really appreciate that. No, it's not coming this way, ECAD. Thank you for joining. That is in Illinois. I think Tennessee should be good for the remainder of the night. You guys are outside of the warning zone for today, so you guys can rest easy. So thank you for being here, everybody. I really appreciate the questions. And if you guys want to throw something in the chat, be glad to look at your areas and see where your risk is at and kind of give you my take on what I think is happening. But again, if you're just now joining me, the only tornado warning happening here in the United States is here in Illinois, and a potentially dangerous one at that here in Illinois. The one in Iowa, if you guys have heard, did expire. It was in the ground briefly by a spotter and confirmed. So that's that one has expired now. So the Illinois one has a potentially dangerous situation. That last scan looks like the rotation is very is weakening now, which is a good sign, but it could definitely regenerate. So we were seeing a little bit of a CC drop on that one, but it doesn't look like anything there. It looks more of a hail spike. So going into the St. David area is where your tornado warning is at right now for Illinois. So we did have, if you're just now joining us, confirmation by the broadcast media of the tornado being on the ground as well as a trained spotter there in the Vermont area, just to the west of Industry. Yeah, Industry, it was what it was. So that's your tornado warning there, guys. It looks like it's regenerating there with that last image. You can see the coupling kind of transferred there to the north a little bit. So it's now going to be north of St. David. We'll go ahead and put the storm tracker and straighten that back out a little bit since we did update on that last one. So there we go. We got it there. It's going to be going into Canton and then up towards Hannah City. So Hannah City is not in the warning area at this point, but they should be ready for the that storm to come into their area. Going towards the Peoria area, which is a very populated area as well. So let's see here. What's this highway? It's about ready to cross. It's going to be crossing State Route 9 as well. So Canton needs to be in their safe place if there's anybody in that area. We can turn the radar off here and see if we have a populated area. Canton looks fairly populated, so that's concerning. Um, Lots of homes, it looks like there, lots of settlements. And so hopefully everybody there has gotten the warning, and hopefully that thing lifts off the grounds here in the next couple minutes before it goes through Canton. But we'll be watching that. So south of St. Dave, let's look at St. Dave as well. I'm wondering how populated that is. Still some good population in there as well, which is also concerning. But right now it seems like it's kind of dancing over some farm fields, some settlements through there as well. So hopefully everybody got their warnings there. But Canton does definitely need to be in their safe place here as it's going into that area. So good population through there, unfortunately. And we'll see what happens here in the next couple of minutes with these next scans that come in. And we'll stick with this storm since it's the only tornado warning happening right now there in the United States. So that last scan, we'll see what happens with it. But that's your only tornado warning right now. So we'll see what happens the rest of the night, guys. Again, we're hoping for a bust. But as we go later into the night, we have an overnight threat of tornadoes, which is not a good thing when you mix darkness with tornadoes. It's going to transfer more to the south as well. So what we'll do is we'll watch while we're watching this one update there. I'll look on my side here and get that set up for you guys so you guys can see the threat area as well. That new scan just came in, guys. So it is still rotating. Still have a good rotation in there, headed towards the Canton area. And so a particularly dangerous situation deemed by the National Weather Service. So you guys need to be in your safe place if you're in that area. So let's see, Vermont. Okay, very cool. Texarkana, Texas. Thank you for watching from Texarkana, Texas. You guys have a threat today for tornadoes as well later on tonight for tornadoes. But let me see one thing here. We'll go through that as well. I don't want to leave this one because it's a particularly dangerous situation, Brenda. But Texarkana, I would definitely have a way of getting some warnings today because you guys are in the risk zone, and that threat's going to go into tonight. So thank you for watching. I really appreciate that. And we'll look at your areas and kind of talk about what to expect for the rest of the night. If you're just now joining me, like I was saying, it's been a little bit of a slow start, which is a good thing. We're not seeing the outbreak we saw Friday, even though the areas kind of look similar. We're not seeing that outbreak as well. So also I want to mention hello to everybody on Twitch. We are streaming on Twitch. I believe we're streaming on Facebook as well. So if you're on Twitch or Facebook, please let me know in the comments. I would be glad to answer any questions for you as well. That new scan still looks like it's tightened up, getting closer and closer to Canton. So that's concerning. Hopefully that rotation will go away. We'll check for a CC drop. Nothing that we can confirm with that one there. But it was deemed on the ground by a trained spotter as well. So we'll see what happens. Definitely a concerning situation, potentially a dangerous situation heading into Canton for that storm. So it looks like that rotation's weakened a little bit. It's a smaller rotation, guys. Let's see where we are from our radar. We're a ways from our radar, so that means we're looking higher into the atmosphere. So hopefully that's not on the ground, but it was confirmed on the ground by a spotter a couple minutes ago. I haven't seen anything else saying that it was. And so that's why it's important to have those spotters because they can keep relaying that information to the National Weather Service, which will come to us eventually. And so let's see here. Yeah, weather confirmed, weather spotter confirmed there at 7:25, so that was 20 minutes ago. But the National Weather Service still has that potentially dangerous situation deemed for that storm. So we'll see what happens in the next couple minutes as it gets into Canton. We're hoping for the best with that one. Hopefully it's weakening a little bit. There's a good supercell there. We'll look at the echo tops on that as well. And that is a massive, massive supercell, classic supercell structure with that one on radar. And you can see again that inflow on the map there. I'll go ahead and draw that a little bit for you. First time we'll get the pen out here. And but you can see the massive inflow there just to the west of Banner as well. Let's see if my pen will cooperate with me right now. It's not wanting to do anything. That's okay. It'll come up. It'll join us in the stream here in a couple minutes. So whenever that gets up, there it goes. Okay, so there's your inflow right there, guys. Very good hook, and your tornado is going to live right in there. So still a classic supercell thunderstorm. You still have the cold air wrapping it around the back there. So definitely rotating supercell there, classic supercell, and hopefully it will weaken here We'll put it in motion as well and watch those echo tops and see if we can get a good image of it. It looks like that echo top did shrink a little bit. We had tops all the way up into the 50,000 foot area there on the right. You'll see it. Let me jog it through frame by frame there for you. And so right there, you can see the 50,000 foot mark, supercell tops indicated by that red mark down there by Lewistown. And so that's a pretty healthy supercell, but it is coming down a little bit, which is a good sign. Hopefully we'll start to diminish a little bit and kill that tornado and that rotation out of that storm. So we'll keep our eyes on it for sure. Let's go back to our base velocity there. And it looks like it is recycling a little bit. It's trying to keep spinning up. So we'll see what happens with that. Strange how that rotation just transferred down to the south again. Not strange because it does happen, but that rotation was up by Canton, as you guys saw. And now it looks like it's now transferring down towards the Banner area, which is kind of typical of a supercell thunderstorm when it's going through that cycle. So we'll see if they reissue that other warning. It could be trying to gust out as well. So we'll see what happens with it there. But still a good rotation transferred down to that Banner area as well. So again, if you're just now joining us, that's for the counties of Fulton, Peoria, and Tazewell, Illinois until top of the hour, 8 p.m. And that's for that potentially dangerous situation happening right there in Illinois. Only tornado warning happening in the country right now, which is good. We had a slow start to this event. Let me get rid of all these squiggly lines that I drew on the screen. You guys don't want to see all that. So new tornado warning, guys.
For East Central Fulton County in West Central Illinois, West Central Tazewell County in Central Illinois, North Central Mason County in Central Illinois, Southwestern Peoria County in Central Illinois.
Okay, so same storm, and since that that rotation transferred down to the south and regenerated, and they reissued another one, you'll see the box pop up here on your screen. But they added a new county to that, to Mason County, so Fulton, Mason, Peoria, and Tazewell counties in Illinois. There's your new box right there. Headed towards the Peoria area now. We'll put the storm tracker back on that one as well and update it. But new tornado warning with that one. Looks like the rotation is trying to transfer down there to the south of Banner, which is good because Canton was a pretty populated area. But still need to be in your safe place because that rotation can transfer around at any given time, like we've already seen. Going to go south of Peoria there, which is a pretty populated area. Looks like it's about ready. It's already crossed the US 24, which is a pretty major highway through there. So that's good. We'll take a look and see what's underneath of that right now. It looks like it's getting into an unpopulated area a little bit. Banner is little populated. There is a couple houses through there, as you can see, but a lot of farmland. So that's the best case scenario. As long as it keeps down there to the south. Kingston Mines is not in that warning zone. They're in the new warning zone. They need to be in their safe places. Mapleton needs to be in their safe place. But Perkin, is it Pekin? I'm sorry, Pekin is the kind of the next populated area there that needs to be aware of these storms headed into their area. So that is the tornado warning there, guys, that we're seeing. We'll turn the radar back on as well. And I want to get into kind of the risk for the rest of the night and kind of do a quick check on my side to make sure we're not missing any of these other storms that are starting to rotate on us. If they do start to go tornado warned, we'll hear it. We won't miss it. But I want to try to get some analysis on it on my side to make sure that we're not going to miss anything before it happens. So we'll leave you with this one since this particularly dangerous situation was dropped with the tornado warning. It's the only one happening right now in the country, which is good. And we'll leave it here for a second. We still see that huge hail core starting to come down a little bit. The supercell looked like it was splitting there a little bit on our echo tops as well. But still a pretty big, massive supercell there with that thunderstorm. So we'll see what happens with it as it continues to move further towards the Peoria area. I'm going to look at something on my side. Thank you guys so much for joining me. Really appreciate everybody being here on YouTube, and we have a couple people on Twitch. And if you're on Facebook as well, let me know in the comments. I'm trying to see, I'm not used to the comments here for Twitch and Facebook, so if I get any and I miss them, I'm sorry, but I have them pulled up on my side. Hopefully I'll see those as well. So appreciate everybody being here. Smash that like button, helps get the algorithm out there on YouTube, helps get the warnings out there. We're praying for a bust tonight, guys, and we have one tornado warning happening right now. We had one in Iowa just south of Des Moines that was on the ground for a brief minute as well. It looks like Kay said that there was a storm chaser on the storm that she was following. I'm not sure which one that was. Kay, if you feel free to throw that in the chat I really appreciate our storm chasers and always jump at the chance to give them some exposure as well. So that last tick that came in there, guys, looks at that rotation is starting to tighten up a little bit again. Um, so we'll keep our eyes on that one. And I want to take a look at the Iowa storms. We'll go up into Iowa as well. This is your old tornado warning that's there, and it's still got a classic hook on it with the base velocity, or I'm sorry, with the base reflectivity there on the left, but not a good rotation. There's a little bit in there. All thunderstorms rotate, but that was the one that was tornado warned. If you're just now joining us, and this one was confirmed by the emergency manager with some debris as well as a tornado train spotter confirmed the tornado there as well. It was up and down. It sounded like by the public. Hopefully it stays off the ground and doesn't recycle. So that's a good sign with our storms today. Hopefully they all continue to do that as well. But a lot of supercell thunderstorms going through that area as well. We're seeing this one here to the west for the severe thunderstorm warning there, and that's going to be for 60-mile-an-hour winds and half-dollar size hail. So that's going into the Des Moines area now. So if you're in the Des Moines area, just make sure you bring your pets inside, stay away from any windows, and stay away from anything that could be falling, like tree branches that might break off or power lines. Probably hearing some thunder there in Des Moines as well. But that is a severe thunderstorm warning headed into your area. But your tornado warning did expire just to the south there, and that's a good sign for our storms today. Up to the north there, we have a couple supercells up there trying to do something, but not a whole ton of rotation in there that I'm seeing on this radar, which is good as well. So nothing sneaking up on us yet. And we'll go back to our other storm just to make sure we keep up with that because it's the only tornado warning happening right now. And then we want to talk about the risk area for the rest of the day as well. Looks like this rotation is starting to get super messy. Still there, though, definitely still there. So now south east of Banner. So that's a good sign as well. Still over that unpopulated area. So that's good. As it moves closer to Peoria, we'll hope that it kind of breaks down and stops rotating. So we'll see what happens. It looks like it's trying to rotate and recycle a little bit. And hopefully the environments aren't good tonight, guys. We haven't seen a whole ton. We have seen a couple confirmed on the ground, but that's we'll take a couple as long as it doesn't do any damage over anything else of a breakout with a lot of people, as long as everybody's safe. So that's your 2 tornado warnings, guys. Let's go ahead and look at our risk zones while that one's up. If you guys are just joining me, you guys feel free to throw in anything in the chat that you have any questions with. I'll be glad to look at your area. I know we got a Text Arcana one watching from there, so I'm not sure if you were asking for an update from there or not, but I'll be glad to look at that as well since we need to kind of talk about it. Anyways, we haven't had a chance to do it tonight, so we'll go ahead and pull that up on our GLR analysis there and show you the zone. So there is your tornado warning there on the right that we've been watching over towards the Peoria area. This is our basically our basic precipitation radar that we use just to kind of look at everything that's going on. Watching this cell right here, it is severe warned, not seeing a whole ton of rotation with it right now, but we're going to definitely keep our eyes on it. But here is your warning areas and your risk areas for tonight. And you can see up here in the north, you have your storms in Iowa, and that high risk again, not as high as it was, it's actually a moderate risk now. High risk that we had on Friday, it was pink. We had the reds tonight, still a dangerous situation. And these storms, as they move further into the east, will hopefully not start to spin, but get into a more favorable environment for it as the day goes on. And this threat to the south, down here through to the Missouri and Little Rock area, is going to be later on tonight. Probably here in the next hour or two, we'll be very tailing to see if the environment is going to be good for those tornadoes or not. So we'll go ahead and look at the watches that are out there right now. And there is your tornado watch as well, a couple severe thunderstorm watches as well. Your tornado watch here is going to be in effect until I believe it's 11 p.m. Central Standard Time for your tornado watch. The severe thunderstorm watches here are until 1 a.m. for the northern one, and to the southern one, it's going to be here for, I'm not sure what this one's going to be for. Not seeing it pull up there for some reason, but the northern one's until 1 a.m. This one's going to be from 6 until midnight. That's why they spelled out midnight. I can't see the midnight there. But so the southern one here again is going to be from midnight, and the northern one is going to be till 1 a.m. Central Standard Time. Your tornado watch is going to be in effect until 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is a good sign. Hopefully they don't reissue that. They shouldn't. We'll see if they push it a little bit further east, especially since we're seeing that tornado there on the eastern side of that risk area. It's definitely possible they reissue something out into the Illinois area out here in the yellow and the dark gold. So we'll see what happens with that. And again, your risk down here in the middle part, Arkansas, Missouri, down into the Texarkana area. We'll see if those storms start to pop up there. We're seeing a little bit pop up there now. We'll see if they start to rotate, and we'll keep our eyes on those as well. Um, but that's kind of the setup for today and tonight, guys, as we move into the night. I say today because it's still only 6 o'clock here, which I guess is night for where I'm at. But we'll see what happens for the rest of the night. Let's go back to our only tornado warning we have. Take a look at that. Again, if you're just now joining me, you'll hear the tornado warnings there pop up on the air. You should have heard that last one. So if you did hear it, let me know in the comments. I'm curious if you guys heard it. I did a little bit of the changes from the streams on Friday and did a little bit of updating. So I just want to know that you guys heard that tornado warning. If you did, just throw it in the comment. If not, no big deal. But you guys should hear those live in the stream. I'll definitely hear them. I heard them for sure. So it's always been working on my streams. I just want to make sure you guys do get those. So let's see here. Going back to our tornado warning here, we'll take a look at the rotation. Looks like it's broadening out quite a bit, but there's still a good rotation in there. We'll check for a CC drop. Awesome. Thank you, Kay. I appreciate that. Could be, let's see here. No CC drop that I can confirm on that one, which is good. Definitely probably a good ZDR arc up there by the Pekin area, which is just a classic sign of inflow for wind. It's hard to explain that, but something that we want to see for supercells as well if they're going to rotate. So the tornado warning's headed into the Kingston and Mines area. It's going 45 miles an hour northeast is what the National Weather Service says there. We'll put the storm tracker back on it and update it there for you as well. Let me get this updated straight actually, because on the new warning, we had a new rotation that popped up. So south of the Kings Mine area and the Mapleton area. So that's where it's going to be, probably going to be in the next 5 to 10 minutes where that rotation will be at. So you still have the severe thunderstorm warning in that area as well. And that's going to be for the, let's see, golf ball size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. And we'll take a look at our hail threat here. Pretty big hail core just to the north there of Kingston Mines and Mapleton. So that's some pretty big hail. It was confirmed quarter-inch size hail about an hour away from that by a train spotter earlier. And so that's some pretty big hail, golf ball size radar indicated. So if you have any pets, bring them inside and stay away from any of the windows, of course. So really appreciate everybody being here. Thank you so much. We're praying for a bust tonight, guys. We have the one tornado. It's not been a bust. We're praying for a low activity day. We'll put it that way since it's not a bust. But it was definitely looking pretty grim starting with everything. And we definitely want to make sure that, let's see here, looking at one thing. Something just popped up in Iowa, I believe, that one cell we were looking at. There we go.
Tornado
New
warning
tornado warning,
for
guys, in Iowa.
northern Poweshiek County in central Iowa, southeastern Tama County in central Iowa.
Okay, I was watching that in the background. That's the one I was saying like might go. It did go. It is going to be, let's see what this is. This is confirmed by an emergency manager, guys. So confirmed tornado on the ground by emergency manager there in Iowa. Malcolm, you need to be in your safe place, guys. This one didn't even have a warning on it. And I was kind of watching it, hoping it wouldn't go, but it did get a spin up there, confirmed on the ground by the emergency manager there. So if you're in Malcolm, Brooklyn, Hartwick, Iowa, you need to be in your safe place. Thank you so much for the subscription. I really appreciate that, guys. Like this stream, if you could subscribe, it just helps get the warnings out there to everybody that's out there. I did have one of my moderators, I think it was one of my moderators the other day, said they didn't even get a warning on their phone and a tornado went through their city. So that's concerning. That's why we do this. They have different ways of getting the warnings, and you never know who's out there watching these streams. It could be a kid on YouTube just looking around, or even an adult that doesn't pay for a cable subscription or forgot to pay their phone bill. Who knows? Who knows why they don't get it? Cell towers go down all the time. And so that's what we do. It just gives it another way of getting these warnings out there. I know a lot of people do it on YouTube as well, but want to make sure that we give them another option to do it. So the rotation is on radar is kind of vague. I believe it's up there to the west of Malcolm. It's confirmed by the emergency manager. Like I said, it wasn't confirmed on radar. They didn't have it warned before it went confirmed. So what happened in this situation is the radar, we can't really see it on radar. And that's why it's so important to have our emergency managers, our first responders, and our trained spotters on the ground, because they can see what's happening on the ground. So on the radar here, we might have a little bit of rotation right here on the stream. There could also be some in there as well. So hard to say where that rotation is via radar, but the emergency manager saw it, called the National Weather Service, and let them know so they could get the warnings out. And that's why it's important to have those storm chasers that are out there. A lot of people think they're just adrenaline junkies. Some of them are. But they're out there, the ones that are really good are out there to really save lives and get the warnings out. So let's see, incoming Texas tornado risk and timing yet. So Texas tornado risk, um, the Texas tornado risk will be happening later on this evening. If anything in Texas, I'll just go ahead and throw that on the stream real fast, just because you're just joining me. Thank you so much for the question. I really appreciate it. Des Moines area, just to the south there. Let's go back to the Des Moines area because that's where we're looking at that last tornado warning that came out. This is going to be well to the east of Des Moines. Okay, so here's Des Moines right here. You guys are underneath the severe thunderstorm warning right now. No tornado warning, which is good, but just to the south there off of the I-80, you have your confirmed tornado by your emergency manager over there by the Malcolm area. So Des Moines, you had the severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. So just be aware of that. Lightning, I'm sure, is with that. So stay inside if you can, away from any doors or windows, and just bring the pets inside if you have time as well. So high damaging winds in the Des Moines area with some hail, but you guys are okay. But there could be any type of spin up on those cells at any given time. We've seen it happen time and time again. So just make sure you have a way of getting your warnings there in the Des Moines area for the next, I would say, hour to hour and a half for that area. So let's see. Kailis, yeah, absolutely. I'll be glad to get that to you. Thank you for understanding. I really appreciate it. Thank you for everybody's support. Really do appreciate everybody being here. Hey, Tony, good to see you. Thank you for joining as well. So that's going to be your confirmed tornado by the National Weather Service via a emergency manager there. So Malcolm, Brooklyn, Hartwick, you guys need to be in your safe place as well. And you're seeing again that classic kidney bean shape, they call it, with the inflow right through there on your screen. So that's definitely something that we're watching. So I'm not even sure if you guys can see my pen. For some reason, that's not working today. I'll have to see if I can get that updated, but that's okay. We'll get the pen there. But there's your classic kidney bean shape right there with your cell, and your inflow is going to be right in here where the mouse is at. I'm not sure if you can see my mouse. There we go. That's odd. So we'll see if we can't figure that out later. But so the classic kidney bean shape, good supercell there. We'll check the echo tops on that one just for the fun of it. Not a super huge supercell, pretty wide, but nothing's going up super high into the atmosphere. But that's your tornado warning there. Back to the one in Illinois, since that one was confirmed on the ground as well. If you're just now joining us, when I get to that one as well. So let me get that pulled up on my side. So still got that huge arc in there as well. Good hook on it. So we'll take a look on that one. That one was confirmed on the ground by a spotter as well. The rotation doesn't look super tight going into the Pekin area south of Peoria. So that's something to be concerned about. But hopefully that one is weakening. They shrunk the polygon on it, but it could spin up at any given time. We have some of that purple imaging in there. If you're new here, that's called radar folding, and that's just the radar that's not sure what's going on in that area. So it could have a rotation underneath there. We don't know, but that's something that can change and the National Weather Service can change. It's just something that's got in the way of that radar beam that was not able to do that. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate that. So near which town? If you're talking about the tornado warning that's happening here in Illinois, that's going to be south of the Peoria area by Pekin. So that's where that's at, around the US 24 and State Route 9, and that's going to be for the counties of Fulton, Peoria, and Tazewell in Illinois. That's where the tornado warning is for that one there in Illinois, if that's what you were talking about. So have you heard of any damage? I missed that. No caps, guys. Nightbot is watching as well. If you guys could just follow the rules, it's okay. I know people don't know it. It's not a big deal for your first time. I saw that pop up there. If you could just type it in regular ones, Nightbot will get rid of the caps. And that's just so it doesn't flood the chat. We try to make it family friendly here and all that stuff. So good to see Nightbot here because Nightbot was not working on the last stream. So moderators, you guys now have Nightbot. So that's good to see as well. Thank you, Kay, for helping with that as well. How about Southeast Missouri? Have I seen any damage back to the Illinois side? I did see, let's see if we can zoom out there and see if that threat is still there. I don't see it here on the stream anymore, but it was confirmed on the ground for a little bit there in Illinois. So right here is your reports that I can see, and I don't see any reports of any damage. Doesn't mean there's not. It just depends on what gets back to the National Weather Service as well. So I don't see any reports of it. It definitely could be. I can, if you guys are seeing anything, let me know as well. I'll be glad to look into it on like Twitter or something like that. I'd be glad to do that. So Nightbot is always sassy, so that's okay. No big deal. I'm not sure who that comment was. I missed the name. So whoever commented with the big caps, just throw it in lowercase, and we'll be glad to get you that information. But I know it was about some damage here in Illinois. So that last rotation, guys, looks like. Let me make sure here. No, I went back. I'm sorry. It was on an old image. I forgot I went back to look at that report. It looks like that cell is dying a little bit, but still in north. Pekin, you guys need to be in your safe place as well. The rotation, we'll update the storm tracker here. Going to be going west of Peoria. So let's see here. That's going to be here, crossing the Interstate 474 here in probably the next 20 minutes. That last image definitely looks like it's weakening somewhat on the rotation. We'll see if they let that one expire. It expires here in 10 minutes. So that's going to be that one. Let's go back to the confirmed tornado in Iowa, where we did not get a warning for it. So everybody that got the warning got it when the tornado was already on the ground. It was confirmed by somebody on the ground before the National Weather Service saw it. I was watching it as well, and I didn't see any rotation on my radar. Even with the warning, it was hard to see. So we'll go ahead and take a look at that one. That's the confirmation there in Iowa. And let's take a look and see if we see any rotation. Still could be some rotation up in here, but not seeing a lot of rotation on radar there, which is very interesting. A classic kidney bean, good hook on that storm as well. Let's see if we can update this as a little bit. Let's put the storm motion on there. Yeah, still nothing really with that storm. There's a little bit of rotation still up there to the north of Malcolm, but that's not even the warning area. This one went to a potentially destructive severe thunderstorm warning, it looks like. Yeah, for the Jasper, is it Poweshiek in Tama counties in Iowa there? That's potentially dangerous. I'm sorry, potentially destructive severe thunderstorm warning. That's the National Weather Service's words for that one. And let's see here. I lost my radar there. Hold on a minute. So we'll get you that. That one's going to be for, let's see what the threat is in there. I think it's for that tornado tag as well as ping pong size hail and 6 mile an hour wind gusts. So let's see, you have cousins in Ipava, Illinois. I'm not sure where that's at, Ipava. We can look at that as well. One tornado warning right now just to the south of south of Peoria, Illinois. We'll go back to that one as well since we have some watchers from there. Little Rock, Arkansas will have a threat tonight as we go into the overnight hours. Same thing with southeastern Missouri. So we'll take a look at that here in a little bit. So we have a threat tonight for that area for sure. We'll see what happens though. It's been a slow start tonight. You definitely need to have a way of getting your warnings tonight. So definitely stay weather aware. It's going to go into the overnight hours. So just make sure you have a good way of getting your warnings tonight for sure if you're in that Little Rock area. I know you guys got hit by some tornadoes last week, I believe it was, and on Friday. And so I'm sure everybody's on edge. And again, just don't want to scare anybody, of course, but just make sure you have a good way of getting your warnings tonight and have a safe place to go. Right now, no threats for Little Rock. No tornado watch even as well. So we'll keep our eyes on Little Rock as that goes through and Missouri as well. So let's see here. We're going to go back and look at that last tornado warning there. Pulling that up on my side. Okay, so there's a tornado warning. North Pekin is right there, and I'm not sure where that last town was. So let me know if you guys have anything as well. But okay. Ipava. I can look that up on my Google here. So let's take a look at Ipava. Ipava, Illinois. That's an interesting way of spelling a town name. That's really, they have some cool names around for sure. So let's see. So Ipava is going to be just to the, okay, I see where that's at now. So let's see. We're going to be just to the west. It's going to be just to the east of that tornado warning that's happening. So Ipava is going to be down over here. New tornado warning,
for
guys.
southwestern Woodford County in central Illinois, northeastern Tazewell County in central Illinois, southeastern Peoria County in central Illinois.
That's going to be just an extension of this Illinois storm. It's going up towards the Peoria, Illinois area. So the counties of Peoria, Tazewell, and Woodford now are underneath the tornado warning, just an extension of that one. So I was looking at that last name of that town. So they're definitely to the east of there somewhere. I'll try to get you a more closer look at that, but they definitely need to be aware that the storm is headed in their direction. Hopefully they're not underneath that new tornado warning that just came out. It doesn't look like it. But just if you could just let them know that that tornado warning is headed in their direction for sure. So let me take a look on my map as well. If you're still here, let me know as well. The IPAVA area is going to be, let's see, I'm trying to find where I'm at. I'm sorry, no, IPAVA is good. So IPAVA is going to be down to the south there. Um, Google had something goofy on me, so that's my fault. I apologize. So IPAVA is well out of the way of this tornado. It's going to be down in this way area somewhere. There's IPAVA right there. I just found it on the radar there for you guys. Sorry about that confusion. So, hey, Aiden, good to see you. IPAVA is clear for right now, but they still need to have a way of getting warnings tonight as these storms from Iowa move in their direction. So IPAVA is good though, so that is good. So new tornado warning, like I said, just came out there on the air. Crossing a lot of interstates there, the I-40, 474, 7, Interstate 74, as well as US 150. And so that's going to be an issue. Let's see here. Hello, you're a trucker. I'm going to be driving east on I-80 through Iowa for the next 4 hours. Am I going to be good? I believe that's what it means. So if you're going through Iowa, let's take a look at Iowa there. We have one tornado warning happening there in Iowa. Depending on where you're at, you definitely need to have a way of looking for your warnings if you're going through Iowa. We'll pull the Iowa up. We have a confirmed tornado on the ground there by the emergency manager at this time. And so I believe I-80 is this interstate right here. Yes, it is. And so depending on where you're at, you're about ready to get into some hail as well as some rain, and you can always get a chance for some tornadoes that spin up through there as well. This one right here is already just to the north of the I-80, but doesn't mean any of these storms down here could recycle and go across the I-80. So if you're in that area, make sure you have a good way of getting your warnings, but I'm not a truck driver. Thank you for being here, by the way. Good question. But if you're a trucker, you know, I'm not a trucker, but just be careful of hydroplaning, high winds, I'm sure as well, because there's a lot of supercell thunderstorms going through there with 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail for this one going through Des Moines right now as well. So good question. Thank you for joining. Please drive safe. I would definitely be aware for the next, I would say 2 to 3 hours in Iowa while you're crossing the 80 of these severe thunderstorms going through that area. So good to see you though. Thank you so much for being here. Is the bad storms in, let's see, is there a bad storm in Wisconsin, Hartford? I'm guessing is what that means. Nothing in Wisconsin that I've seen that's been severe today, so that's good. We'll take a look at Wisconsin real fast. If that's Wisconsin, let me know in there as well. Again, I appreciate everybody joining, and if you guys have any questions, feel free to let me know. We'll go through and break down some of these tornadoes again as well. I don't want to get away from those as well. Since we're on this Iowa storm, let's go back to the Iowa storm actually. We haven't talked about that for a little bit. This is confirmed on the ground by the emergency manager, so I want to definitely talk about that one. Hard to see on radar for your rotation. It looks like your rotation could be there or there. But that's going to be in the Brooklyn area, Hartwick area as well. This one expires in 15, let's see, going to be 8:30 Central Standard Time. Central Daylight Time, I guess is the correct term for it. And so that new image right there, you can see that classic hook on it. Definitely a hook on there. Definitely could be seeing some rotation right in there as well. I gotta figure out why my rotation or my thing's not working as far as the rotation goes, but or as far as the drawing goes. But that's definitely concerning to be confirmed on the ground by the emergency manager there, just to the north of I-80 right now in the Malcolm area. So that's your confirmed tornado right there on the ground. Going back to the other tornado warning we have out there right now in the Illinois area, going into the Peoria, Illinois area. Everybody in Peoria is underneath the tornado warning, so you guys need to be in your safe place. That's going to be for the counties of Peoria, Tazewell, and Woodford until 8:30 Central Daylight Time as well. And so your rotation in there is still very messy, hard to see. We're right, not too far away from the radar, but it's going to be there north of North Pekin is where it's going to be, south of North Pekin. going into the Creever area. It was confirmed on the ground at one point, but nothing that we're seeing right now as well. So thank you, Tony. I really appreciate that. I'll try to look at that when I get a second. If you guys are seeing anything, feel free to throw me a Twitter at the weather check if you're seeing any damage. I'll take a look at it. Not super good about putting it on the air right now just because I don't want to overshare other people's content and steal it. And I'm going to make sure it's a good thing. If I have some time, I might go through that here on the air. But you guys can always follow me at weather check on at the weather check on Twitter, and I retweet a lot of that stuff that's there as well. So there's your two tornado warnings happening there in the United States. Still kind of underperforming tonight, which is a good thing. Really like to see that. Wisconsin, we were going to look at Wisconsin as well. So thanks for hanging with me on that one. So nothing right now confirmed in Wisconsin. Um, so let's go take a look at that. Zooming out, up in the northern Wisconsin, you have some pretty crazy thunderstorms up there, some pretty big stuff, but there could be a severe threat up there. No real big threat on those storms right there as far as those circles go with the SPC that you're seeing on the map there. Could be a brief spin up, but just make sure you have a way of getting your threats right now. But right now you should be good in Wisconsin. Looks like the middle part of Wisconsin, Arcadia, Black River Falls, um, is where you're seeing those big cells happen right now. So, but nothing severe that's even warned right now. So that's good. Just make sure you have a way of getting those warnings in Wisconsin. So, um, safety is your second middle name. Hopefully your first middle name is no accidents. That would be great. Um, that's good though. So let's see here. Back to your tornado warning there in Illinois. We'll go back to that one there, making sure you guys are seeing all that. Okay, so there's your tornado warning there in North Pekin. The rotation's still very broad on it. We'll see if they let this one expire, but going over the Interstate 740, that last tick really doesn't have a lot of rotation on it as well, which is a good sign, guys. It could be recycling, so definitely want to watch it for recycling. These things like to do that. And I'm not sure, again, today how that's been going. We haven't seen a lot of recycling for these storms, which is good. So definitely want to make sure we watch it for that, though. Going into the East Peoria area, getting a lot of hail, though, with this storm. Good hail core. You get the severe thunderstorm warning for ping pong size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts there in Peoria as well. So you guys getting a lot of lightning and rain with this as well as some wind. So that's the cell going through Peoria. Still underneath that tornado warning, you guys need to be in your safe place if you're in that area because that could spin up at any given time for sure. So, all right. All these storms seem pretty strong. They seem, yeah, pretty strong storms. I'm not seeing a lot of them though, which is a good sign. So good to see you, K4. Thank you for being here. Okay, so let's see here. Going back to the Iowa storm there. They did let the one there on the right as I switched the screen. They let the one there in Peoria, the back half of that expire, but you still have the counties of Peoria, Tazewell, and Woodruff in Illinois still underneath that tornado warning, but they let the other one drop, which is a good sign. So back into the Iowa storm, we're looking at that there live on the screen. You do have the counties of Poweskawa and Tama in Iowa was confirmed by a emergency manager there on the ground storm. So that one expires here in 13 minutes, and we'll see what happens with that one. Hard to see on radar, not a lot of rotation, which is a good sign. It was confirmed by the emergency manager there. So if you're in Brooklyn, Hatwick, you guys still need to be in your safe place as well. So potentially destructive, severe thunderstorm warning destructive is deemed by the National Weather Service for this storm as well for that tornado tag, as well as ping pong size hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So that's your tornado threat there in Iowa. We'll take a look at this one here in Des Moines, right next to the radar. Not seeing any rotation on that storm as well, which is good. Very linear kind of model setting up there. We could get some spin ups along that linear model. So we'll keep our eyes on that going into the north west Missouri area. A lot of severe thunderstorms with this, a lot of hail threat. I've seen reports of some hail. Not sure where it was earlier of about, I think it was 3.5 inches estimated. That's pretty high. So that's pretty crazy as well. Yeah, nothing on radar and then poof, very scary. Yeah, absolutely. That's why it's important to have those spotters in the ground. I know Jaden on YouTube, you can type in Storm Chaser Jaden. Corey as well, Corey Gherkin, Storm Chaser Corey Gherkin. Of course, you have Reed Timmer that's out there chasing storms as well. 3 YouTube storm chasers that I follow, great people to watch, and they put themselves in the line of the storms all the time to get those warnings out. Guys, the one in Illinois did expire. We'll go ahead and transfer back there real fast. They let it expire early. There was hardly any rotation in there at all, and that's a good sign for storms. They briefly spun up. It did come down, made some touchdown, and then went back up and did not recycle. It could still recycle, but we're not seeing that long track supercell tornado threat today, at least yet, that we saw earlier. Still a high threat. Not a high threat, but still a moderate threat for some tornadoes today. A little bit less than what it was Friday. Friday was ridiculously crazy. I haven't seen anything like that ever in following storms. And then we were wondering if today was going to be a repeat, and it's just not coming to fruition right now. But that does not mean we're ready to put our guard down. So right now, again, if you're just now joining us, one tornado warning happening in Iowa, the one in Illinois around the Peoria area just expired, and that's good. We're going to keep our eyes on it to make sure it doesn't recycle. Before I leave that one, I want to make sure I'm not seeing anything as well. But the National Weather Service did let it expire. Very messy supercell. It was pretty organized earlier, but you can see on the base reflectivity there, not a lot of organization to it, which is good as well. So we'll see if it recycles. We're hoping not. It's getting outside that risk area, and that's good sign. So back to our Iowa storm, we'll take a look at that one as well. That one didn't have a lot of rotation on it. And back to that kind of that point, we didn't see anything on radar with that. It does happen from time to time, but we can usually see it if it's going to happen. So that's just not the norm that we should worry about. But that's why we're always telling you to be weather aware, because a spotter can confirm it, and that warning gets out after the destruction's already happening. It doesn't happen a lot, but it definitely can happen. So, and if you just think about technology and how long it takes for that time to relay from the spotter to the National Weather Service to all the media outlets, your phone, whatever it might be, that's some lag time. You just definitely need to be aware of your surroundings at that point. So let's see, we're going to look at the Iowa storm, and then I'll get back into talking about the threats, kind of like we were talking about earlier, of what to kind of expect for the rest of the day. It looks like that rotation could be still rotating right there. You kind of see it there on radar now if there's anything in there. Right to the south of Chelsea, it looks like, which they have some tornadoes in Chelsea Wednesday as well. I definitely remember that. Not super tight rotation. We'll go ahead and put that in motion. That last update on the base velocity looks about the same. We'll put it in motion, see if we can't see it kind of tightening up there on base velocity here on the right as its cell comes into the picture. Looks like it's trying to rotate, but it also looks like it's starting to shrink a little bit. We'll bring it down a little bit. So that's good. You can see right in there, you can see it kind of tighten up in rotation with that cell and then kind of go through the rotation, kind of broaden out again. It's kind of hard to see with that last image, kind of jumped on me a little bit. There you go. There it goes. A little bit more. But yeah, so we'll definitely keep our eyes on it. But you guys still should be in your safe place at this time if you're in the counties of Poiska and Tama. Definitely seeing a little bit more rotation on that last uptick for sure. So definitely some rotation there by Chelsea. You guys will be in your safe place. It was confirmed on the ground by emergency manager, which is great. So your GR2 analysis won't open. I'm sorry, that's terrible. So definitely you have to have the right computer for it to work properly. I'm running 3 of them at the same time right now, so that's kind of the nerdy side of the weather and all the software that we have to run on the back end to have the computers to support it. So but that's your tornado warning right there, guys. We'll keep our eyes on it. Let's see if there's any hail with that. Not a super huge hail core on there, but just going to be to the north and the west of Chelsea. They're dropping some hail as well. So ping pong size hail was the radar indicated by the National Weather Service. Haven't seen any confirmations of that. We do have an estimate of 1-inch hail there by a trained spotter there in Powishkawa, just 6 miles west of Malcolm. So definitely some hail with that storm for sure. But that's kind of your threat there with that. So we're watching everything else, and then we'll get a look at our potential dangerous situation, not potentially dangerous situation, our outlook for today, not potentially dangerous situation, which is what we were kind of maybe expecting today, but it hasn't come to fruition yet, and that's a good sign. So we'll take a look at that here on our outlook. And so those everything that's happening there in the country, guys. You can even see the storms down here in not Little Rock, Arkansas, Texarkana area are starting to pop up a little bit down there. We'll keep our eyes on them, see if they start to rotate. Definitely don't want to see that happening, but right now they just look like they're linear. Definitely could go severe thunderstorm warm here in a little bit. We'll see if we keep our eyes on that. Going to go south of Little Rock, it looks like, but these storms could definitely start to pop up there in the Texas area, start to move into Shreveport and up into the Arkansas area here in the next hour or two. Um, so that threat's going to remain supposedly overnight today. No tornado watch or even severe thunderstorm watches down in those areas. Our only severe thunderstorm watches, if you're just now joining us, are up here in the Iowa, Missouri area. So you guys are underneath that severe thunderstorm warning up here to the north until 1 p.m. I'm sorry, 1 a.m. Central Standard Time. Down here to the south is going to be till midnight Central Standard Time. Those are severe thunderstorm warnings. Those are dark areas. Let's turn off some of this stuff on the radar, and just so you can see exactly what I'm looking for. There you go. So the pink areas right there to the north and south are your severe thunderstorm warnings. The purple area is going to be for your tornado watch, and that's going to expire here at 10 p.m. Central Standard Time, which is good because we're only about an hour and a half away from that as well. I know we had some people traveling on the I-80 there, as well as some people watching earlier in the Iowa area. So good to see as well. Um, so we'll see if they reissue that further and further east. It doesn't look like they're going to, but we'll keep our eyes on it. We definitely want to be aware of our new watches that come out, and we'll see it here pop up live in the air. In fact, I'll do a quick check for that. Doesn't look like they are going to reissue that right now. No discussions that are out there. All these boxes here, all they are telling me is there's a discussion that's happening with the National Weather Service about that area for severe thunderstorms. So they're watching that area, and it allows me to go in and read those conversations that they've typed out and give me a read on kind of what's going to happen here in the future. And right now, there's currently no discussions happening for those areas that aren't already out there. So that's good to see. So we'll keep our eyes on all the warnings. And again, I'll see that pop up on my screen if it does pop up and get some notifications on that. So good thing. We can see that good line going from Des Moines all the way down into the Kansas, Nebraska area, Kansas City, Nebraska area. So we'll see if anything spins there or not. We can always get that brief spin up of a tornado there on that line. So definitely something that we need to keep in mind. Spirit Field, your parents live in South Carolina. Will a storm affect them? No. Today they are good. So South Carolina is good for today. They are not under the gun, which is a good sign. Even for the rest of the week, we're watching some threat up here into the Michigan area tomorrow. It's going to be a good threat for this area up into the Michigan, Illinois, Columbus, even Philadelphia, parts of New York, upstate New York are underneath tornado threat tomorrow as well. So we're watching that, but nothing for the rest of the week that I'm seeing that's going to potentially come through as far as severe weather besides tomorrow in those areas. So that's good. So thank you for the question, Spiritfield. I really appreciate it. Really appreciate you being here and the question. Thank you again for everybody's support. Really appreciate that as well. And can I do with you guys, if you guys haven't already done it, smash that like button. Consider subscribing. You'll know when we get on the air as well. So, hey, Andrew, really want to thank our moderators today, Linda Belk and Kay and Andrew for being here. Really appreciate their work. They're all volunteer moderators, and really appreciate their support on the stream as well. They do an awesome job. When I need them, they're able to monitor the chat as well for anything super crazy. And Nightbot, thank you Nightbot for being here. That's a robot that we use to help monitor the chat, and I think it's working this stream. We saw him pop up earlier, so hopefully he keeps quiet and he's here only when we need him. So that's good to see. So all right, let's go back to this um, tornado warning that's happening right here in Iowa. We haven't talked about that for a little bit, and take a look at it. So go back to our base velocity there on the right. Not a lot of rotation again. It was starting to rotate a little bit. So we're not seeing a whole ton. There's a little bit of a coupling outside of that rotation area. I have a feeling they're going to extend this warning maybe a little bit. We'll see what happens with it. It's not a tight rotation. It does expire here in 3 minutes. So we'll see what they do with that, but definitely a little bit of a rotation there, but not, it looks like it could be elevated for sure. So let's see here. We got reports of quarter-size hail inched there by a train spotter in Benton, Iowa as well that just popped up there. That's Benton, yeah, Benton. So let's see. Okay, That's your only tornado warning here, expiring in 2 minutes, and then we'll see where we go from there. We'll take a look at some of these storms over here by the Des Moines, Iowa area. Not seeing any rotation with that. Very strange looking supercell or thunderstorm there with that long, long hook on it, but no rotation in it, which is a good sign. Definitely linear out there. So that's a good sign as well. We have 1.57 inches of hail radar indicated. Thank you so much for the subscription. Really appreciate that. Um, and so that's the hail threat with that one, not confirmed. We do have a report of 1 inch hail there from the public reporting from MPing, which is just like a Republic reporting system. That's estimated 1 inch hail from the public there. So not even measured. So, but good hail core threat. They're going through the I-80 just to the east of Des Moines there, going into the Colfax area. And that's why, yeah, that severe thunderstorm warning there for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail, moving to the northeast at 50 miles an hour. So you have that there as well. You do have a report of 1.5 inches estimated there right here by the Jasper, Iowa area by a train spotter. So that is an estimated time and an estimated measurement. So seeing some hail with these storms for sure, with some high winds as well. So take a look back at our base velocity. Still not seeing a whole ton of spinning there, but I have a feeling we're going to get maybe another tornado warning with that one. It's outside the warned area right now. I'm going to go ahead and put a storm tracker on that. If you're in Luzerne, you need to be aware of this storm. It's not warned by the National Weather Service, um, but it could spin up at any given time. And we didn't see a warning with this one, last one. It was confirmed by an emergency manager if you're just now joining us. And we didn't get an actual warning from the National Weather Service until it was confirmed on the ground. So if you're in the Luzerne area, I would definitely be aware of this cell headed towards you. It looks like high rotation, but it could go warned at any second up into the Van Horn area as well, about ready to cross the US 30. Some good rotation in there, but nothing that's going to be confirmed without eyes on the ground there. And the National Weather Service hasn't warned it yet. We'll see if they do warn it. But it does look like it's a little bit elevated. So we'll keep our eyes on it there. So it looks like that last image looks like there's a very broad rotation in there, nothing super tight. So let's see, this last confirmed tornado warning will expire here now. So it is 8:30 right now, and this one, the screen box, it's supposed to retire, so it'll probably drop off here any given second. I think it has expired. Let me take a look at that one. Yeah, they did let that expire, guys. No, they have not let it expire yet. I'm sorry. So it will expire here in any second unless they decide to reissue that tornado warning as well. So let's see here. I'm going to pull up one thing on my side. So yeah, when it expires here at 8:30, and it just expired. There we go. So it will drop off the map there. There it goes, guys. So no warning on that one. Could be a brief spin up. We have no confirmed tornadoes now on the ground, or no tornado warnings happening right now as well. So which is a good sign as well. So that's a good sign, guys. So thank you so much for the support, guys. I really appreciate it. We're going to hang on here on the air for a little bit and talk a little bit what to expect about tomorrow, as well as what to expect for the rest of the night tonight moving forward. So definitely not out of the woods yet tonight, guys. We'll go ahead and jump in and talk about that for tonight, and then we'll talk about that threat for tomorrow as well until we get another tornado warning. When that does pop up, you'll hear it live here in the air. We won't miss it. So you guys will get that warning as we go into this explanation a little bit. And I'll try to keep it very brief because I think a lot of you guys have been here for a little bit. But if you guys have any questions about your area, please let me know as you have if you have a question about your area or a question of a family member, I'll be glad to look at your area as well and kind of give you my analysis of that as well. So Spirit Field High, thank you for being here. I really appreciate it. I think we answered your question a little bit earlier. Thank you so much for sure. K4 is here. Yeah, thank you, K. For it could be warned at any time. So we'll take a quick look around of what's happening currently. I'm going to turn off some of these boxes and things. I do want to put all the spotters out there. Look at all those green dots that just popped up. I'll turn everything else off. And those spotters are the reason we get warnings sometimes, guys, just like we saw there in Iowa. Someone confirmed it on the ground. Those train spotters, all of these green dots are considered train spotters by the National Weather Service. So they, when they get a warning, they know exactly what to look for before they put that warning in. So when we get a trained spotter that gives a confirmation of a warning, they definitely have training to know what they're looking for, and so they can see things happening there on the ground as well. And that's what we need them for, because we didn't have that warning until someone confirmed it on the ground there in Iowa a couple minutes ago. So those are all the spotters out there. Thank you so much for all our spotters. We love to see them out there, and they put their lives in harm's way as well. So Southeast Missouri, straight on tornadoes. Let's check on that one. Shauna's cleaning service. I will take a look at that right now. So Southeast Missouri, you guys are not out of the risk zone right now. So here is Missouri right through there, and you can see this box right through there has a chance for tornadoes tonight, moving into the overnight hours. So you have no tornado watches happening right now, no severe weather, hardly any weather happening down in Missouri right now, except for the upper northeastern part of it. But you guys definitely have a chance for tornado warnings happening tonight as well. So definitely have a way of getting your warnings. You guys are clear for right now. Go grab some dinner. You guys should be good for probably the next hour, I would say, at least. And then make sure you just have a way of doing your weather checks and getting those notifications as well as they keep going. So good question. I actually used to own a cleaning service myself. My wife and I ran that a couple of years back. So that was hard work. So thank you for doing what you do, because I know firsthand how that can be. I hate cleaning houses, especially somebody else's mess. It is not a fun a fun job by any means, and I don't really like cleaning my own mess, but I'd rather clean my own than somebody else's. So thank you for doing that. Definitely something that's super crazy with that. Getting into that, seen some pretty weird stuff with the cleaning services doing that as well. So I think I've done pretty much a little bit of everything. If you guys know me a little bit, I have a weird background of I just like to try new things, and that's definitely one thing. My mom actually used to clean uh, clean houses, and that's what we kind of did. Took over her business. So, um, which part of Missouri? Not sure what your question is on that one. The threat part for Missouri. Everything in Missouri tonight has a chance for some tornado threats later on tonight. So definitely you need to have a way of doing that. So getting your warnings, but not sure where you're at in there. But Southeast Missouri definitely has a heightened risk, moderate risk for some tornadoes tonight for sure. So. Yum. So how is Peoria, Illinois looking for 2 a.m. tonight? You guys should be okay for 2 a.m. tonight, hopefully. You guys are underneath a tornado watch until 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. You guys had a close call there a couple minutes ago, so hopefully you got that warning if you were in Peoria, Illinois. But that threat did go away there in the last 20, 30 minutes. But you guys definitely need to have a way of getting those warnings here for another hour and a half, and make sure you keep that threat, that warning next to you for the next couple hours until the National Weather Service says it's okay to come out. But you guys should be okay for Peoria, Illinois for at least right now, and then just make sure you have a way of getting those warnings if anything comes up. So we can take a look at that for sure. Okay, St. Louis area. Okay, gotcha. Okay, I know where St. Louis is. So we'll take a look at St. Louis. Um, so your St. Louis area is still underneath this gold threat right here on your screen. Make sure I've got everything pulled up for you guys to see that. Yes, I do. Okay, so there's St. Louis right there. You got St. Louis. Definitely has a threat tonight, guys. You're not underneath anything right now. And thankfully, it hasn't been a crazy day for storms, which is great. So we'll keep a look at that area for sure as we go into the overnight hours. You guys have an increased threat. We'll see some of these storms are already starting to fire down here in the Texarkana area. So definitely a possibility as well for St. Louis. But we'll see if anything comes to fruition. I think you guys should be hopefully okay for the next hour. So go grab some dinner for sure. You have some rain coming into your area as well, but we'll definitely be here. So possible funnel reported. Where was that at? Is that going to be over there? Not sure where that's at. Let's see. Not seeing anything. Let's see. Twin Cities and Hutchins, Mississippi. Nothing should be for there. You guys are getting a lot of snow in Twin Cities, Minnesota right now. So Minnesota's up here. Actually, no, you guys aren't getting anything in Twin Cities. So I believe you guys are okay there. You guys are getting some cells, but no severe weather for tomorrow. But you have all that good snow, blizzard-like effects, winter weather advisories up in there in Grand Forks, Fargo, the right backside of the storm, kind of what we saw happening on Friday as well. So K4, I'm not sure where you're seeing that funnel cloud at. Drop it in the chat if you guys see anything. It would be super helpful to let you guys know. So let's see here. Um, Thank you for everybody watching on YouTube. We have one watcher on Twitch. So if you guys know anybody on Twitch, that's super cool. We are streaming there on Twitch. And if you guys are watching on Facebook, I can't see those comments, I don't think. But if you guys are making some comments there on Facebook and I'm not seeing them, head over to YouTube if you want to comment with me. I'm gonna be happy to look at that. Storms are rotating in Kansas. Let's take a look at those Kansas storms, if that's the case. Um, we'll take a look at those. There are some pretty crazy cells going into those Kansas storms. Definitely linear out there as well. So we'll take a look at those. Don't want to miss anything with that. So let's see here, get that pulled up on my side. Take me a little bit to get there. So that's your Iowa storm there. Still no recirculation on that storm. So that's a good sign. We're not seeing those storms recirculate. There was a possible funnel cloud looking west. When was this? Maybe that's the one that you're talking about, K4 there. Let's see. So let's see here. Possible funnel cloud by Train Spotter. That one was about 10 minutes ago. So definitely some interesting storm structure on the base reflectivity there by Iowa. And it looks like there's some spotters there as well. Not a super lot of rotation we can see there on radar for that Iowa storm just to the east of Des Moines, but we'll keep our eyes on it. Definitely some weird structure there. We were looking at that one a little bit earlier. So down into the Kansas City area, we'll take a look at those as well and jump down there. Let me look at one more of my radars here. Take that one back and we'll update this one. So give me a couple minutes to pull up that Kansas City radar and we'll take a look at those to see how much those might be spinning. Hopefully not. We'll take a look at them though. Let's see here. We'll pull up that one, I believe is the right radar. We'll let that one load. So right through here, we have our Kansas radars. Definitely some rotation on some of these storms. There's definitely a good rotation couplet there by Pauline. It kind of disappeared on that last tick. So around the Topeka area and along these linear storms, guys, we can always see a rotation spin up that fast. Valley definitely looks like it could starting to be rotating there as a little bit as well. So thank you for letting me know that. Really appreciate that. Starting to see some rotation in those storms. We'll see if they start to come down a little bit on their sizes. We're pretty far away from the radar, so since there's some broad rotation in the storms for sure. We'll see if they are a little bit elevated right now. That one by Topeka looked like it could have been a little bit of a good spin up, but we'll keep our eyes on it for sure. But definitely could be getting some tornado warnings out of there, but definitely severe thunderstorms for sure. And that's why it's important to get your warnings tonight, guys, as those things could spin up at any given time. Your severe thunderstorm warnings are for 60-mile-an-hour wind gust and quarter-size hail. So we'll keep our eyes on that one for sure. And definitely can see some spin ups around here throughout the night for sure. So keep our eyes on it. The valley, just south of the Valley Falls, there is a good cell there. We'll take a look at the hail. Some good hail threat with that one as well. So some good hail core just to the south of Valley Falls on those storms. So a little bit slow right now, guys. We have no tornado warnings to talk about, which is great. And I'd rather have no tornado warnings to talk about than 15 million of them. That's a good sign. So, which we never had 15 million. That's a little bit of an over exaggeration. So just a little bit though, not a big one. Seems like it's intensifying going into Illinois. Yeah, the threat definitely increases as we move further and further to the east there. So CBS Minnesota weather. Thank you, Tony. I really appreciate that. Let's see. I'll have to take a look at that one as well. See if I missed anybody else's comments there, going through those. Thank you so much again for our moderators. Thank you for everybody that's commenting. Really good to see everybody here tonight. Yum and K4, good to see you guys as well. Shannon, good to talk to you as well. And our Spirit Field is still here. If they're still here, we talked to them a little bit earlier and was able to look at some stuff for them. So let's take a look around at some more of our radars. I'm going to put this one, leave this one in Kansas City, and we'll go back to our Illinois radar, I think, and take a look at those. Was that our Illinois radar? Let's see here. That's our, let's try this one. I have to go back, jump back up there again. So there's our Illinois radar. Let's see if I can get this to cooperate. There we go. Okay, there's our Illinois radar. We'll take a look at some of these storms around here. Nothing on that one as well. So not seeing a whole ton of rotation in the Illinois area still, which is a good sign. That's still a good hail core there. That was our old tornado threat happening right there, well outside of Peoria now, just crossing, it's the I-80 as well, I-80 in Illinois. And so that was going to be still for that severe thunderstorm warning at 60-mile-an-hour winds and quarter-size hail. That's really your only cell that's in the Illinois area that I'm watching for sure. Iowa still got some good cells coming into it as well. We'll take a look at some of those. Make sure some of those don't sneak up on us. Definitely don't want to see that. But still could be a little bit of rotation still in that northern storm, not tight rotation, so we'll keep our eyes on it, but I don't see it. It's pretty messy storms, guys. We're not seeing super tight storms. That one to the south, right there, that weird hook on it we've been watching is definitely something super weird to see on radar at least. And it looks like there's been a confirmation of a funnel cloud there for that storm by a train spotter there about 20 minutes ago. So that's going over the I-30 area about 20 minutes ago and not seeing a lot of rotation on radar, which is good. Hardly any rotation there. Going to the south, those storms don't look like they're anything. We're getting further away from the radar, so hard to see anything, but they don't look super organized as well. And then we took a look at those other storms going to the south there as well. So Iowa cells intensify after it crosses Illinois' border. Yeah, as it moves further and further to the east, like I said, it's going to hit those favorable lines. So make sure I'm not missing something with that one as well. So we do have that one dancing around. Maybe that's the one you're talking about over there by the Mount Carroll area. We can take a look at that one just for the fun of it. This one's starting to intensify a little bit and get a little bit more rotation in there a little bit. We'll see if that one goes warned, but not super, again, messy rotation up on that top part of that storm. Just like it's definitely elevated for sure. So we'll see what happens with that, but still got the severe thunderstorm warning as well. Okay, let's see here. I do want to kind of take a look at that cell over there to the north. We'll see if we can pull that one up just because it's there. It looks like it's got at least a good thunderstorm cell on it, at least with that storm. So we'll switch to the Davenport, Iowa radar here and pull that one up. As it's loading, really want to appreciate everybody being here and thank everybody for being here. Let's see, here's a Davenport radar. It's loading there in the background. We'll get that pulled up. Good cell there though. So good hail core. We'll see. It does have a little bit of an interesting structure on it. I don't see a lot of radar rotation on it with that cell, but we do have a lot of folding in there as well. So definitely a pretty big cell there. Pretty good hail core as well. 1.5-inch hail just underneath that radar indicated. So we'll see if that will probably go severe warned here in any minute. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. Take a look at this one over here as well. This is outside of it. Same storm you're looking at. Still good rotation in there, but we're still far away from the radar on this radar to get a good image of it. So there's definitely some elevated rotation in there, but nothing super crazy. It did produce a thunderstorm or a tornado earlier, so definitely a possibility. So Grace, I think this weekend there is another storm system. I haven't seen that. Maybe there is. I know we have a chance for tomorrow. I checked early this morning and I didn't see anything that is going to be at least severe, Grace. Hopefully I'm correct on that one, but it could have updated last time I saw it. I'll take a look at that or later on. Thank you so much for the subscription. Really appreciate that as well, guys. You guys are awesome. Really appreciate it. No tornado warnings happening, guys. So don't expect you guys to hang around. I really appreciate talking to you guys. We can talk about, have some fun on this stream for sure. Let's see here. Thank you so much for following. I really appreciate that on Twitter. Or is that our new Twitch follower? That's interesting. Never had a Twitch follower. So thank you so much on Twitch. If you're over there on Twitch, thank you so much. I think I'm on Facebook as well right now. So thank you guys so much. We can talk about, have some fun, guys. If you guys have any questions about weather-related stuff, I'm happy to try to answer those. I do not do therapy, so no therapy psychology questions. I'm not a licensed therapist and don't want to be. But happy to answer any questions that you guys might have as well. I'm happy to always not be reporting on tornadoes that aren't happening. If we do have a slow stream and it slows down, I might just stop the stream here a little bit and watch the storms as they progress further south tonight. We'll keep our eyes on everything. There's still a lot going on, so don't want to close the stream and have to get back on later on. But if I do close the stream out, make sure you guys have a way of getting your warnings for sure. So Rotations picked up in Kansas. Okay, cool. We'll have to keep watching those. Thanks for letting me know. Um, we'll transfer back down there to the Kansas ones and keep those on some perspective. I want to definitely keep an eye on the Iowa storm as it tries to start to rotate. But new watch. Do we have a new watch issued? Let's take a look at our watches. Thank you for letting me know. Definitely appreciate that. So much going on sometimes. Forget to check everything, but we'll take a look at the new watch. I don't see the new watch hitting my screen yet. So we'll new severe thunderstorm watch, if that's maybe what you're talking about down here in the south. So maybe that's what you're referring to. Hopefully I'm not missing a tornado watch, but let's see here. That's going to be, let's see here, a new tornado, or I'm sorry, new thunderstorm watch. Let's see here. That's going to be, I believe, until 3 a.m. Central Daylight Time. So new severe thunderstorm watch down here in the Kansas, Oklahoma area that was just issued. So thanks for letting me know that as well. We'll take a look at the MESO discussions. We have a new discussion now happening for Arkansas and the Texas area. And so we'll see what that one has. Give me a minute to read that one, guys. I'll take a look at that. But we are starting to see some storms fire here in Arkansas, and that threat is happening, like I said, later on tonight. So we'll definitely have to keep our eyes on the south as this the system starts to push further east. We're starting to see those storms start to fire. So I'll take a look at those here. I'll put the Kansas City one back on, and we'll take a look at that, I believe, as well. Let's see here if I can get another radar back up. You know what? Let's put the Iowa one back on. We'll do that one because that one's kind of some weird structure. You guys can look at that as well. So let's see here. I think I've got that up for you guys there. We'll keep our eyes on that one. That's the one I'm really watching right now. I know the Kansas City ones could go warned any second now. I just don't have that radar pulled up. I'm trying to get the load on my end. It's just not wanting to load. So doesn't mean we're going to miss anything though, guys. We'll definitely see anything that pops up if it does load for sure here. We'll see if we can get this on this side. But gotta switch those radars around, guys. I was definitely more planning for that Illinois side of things and have to position my radars here for the next couple minutes and get everything kind of back up to speed. And I'll take a look at that new um, chat from the National Weather Service for sure as well. So thank you for the subscription. Really appreciate it, guys. Not seeing a whole ton of rotation in there. Definitely get that spin up there on the east side of that storm for sure. We'll keep our eyes on it. Definitely some interesting radar images through there just from the radar beams being so close, but I don't see anything that's super rotating right now as far as those Kansas storms. We'll keep our eyes on it. Definitely very, very elevated rotations in there though. Definitely linear models moving forward. So, okay. Okay, so let me see here. Yeah, we'll definitely take a look at that as well. So, okay, so let me see here what the new discussion is, guys. We'll take a look at that. I'll take a look at that on my side. We'll keep the Kansas City radar up there. And I want to take a look at the new talk about tornado threat for the Arkansas, Texas area for tonight. They just are starting to talk about that. Okay, let's see here. So tornado watch is likely. So an 80% of a watch issuance. So that's a pretty high percentage. We're probably going to get a new tornado watch with that one here in the next couple minutes. Looks like it's pretty conditional. Pretty conditional places for some strong tornadoes tonight. I need to go back and look at my soundings if I get a chance to do that too, guys. I'm not sure if you guys know what soundings are, but let's see. Just trying to rate through this, guys. Sorry, give me 1 minute. Yeah, let's see. Semi-discrete cells. Okay, so yeah, definitely a chance for some tornadoes tonight down into the southern part. They're about ready to issue probably a new tornado watch here in the next couple, probably 20, 30 minutes from the National Weather Service. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. If you guys see it pop up before I get to it, let me know. I'll definitely be glad to get that back on the stream as well. So definitely want to make sure we watch that into the overnight hours. Of course, as things get darker out, people can't see things, they go to sleep and they start to lose track of everything. And we definitely don't want to see that happen. So thank you for the subscription. Really appreciate it, guys. If that's annoying to you guys, I know I had the comment from one of I think my followers last stream of the wood that's chopping. It's just a way of getting my attention, so I don't forget to thank you guys. That's all it's for. I can always turn it off too if that's something that you guys don't want to see, but I want to make sure I don't miss that from you guys. So we do have a little bit of rotation in that line there that we're watching, but not super tight. We do have some hail with that as well, so definitely something we want to be aware of. But we'll keep your eyes on it, guys. It definitely can get that spin up as well in there. So definitely want to make sure we watch for that threat and that new tornado watch issuance coming out here in the next couple of minutes from the National Weather Service. Looks like it could be a little bit of a brief spin up there, just to the west of the Barclay area. Not super tight. That last image definitely looks like it's starting to try to spin up there. Next couple minutes, we might see a tornado warning coming from there. We'll watch that one. Going to be just to the west of Bars. Is it Barclay? 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 Is that how you say it? Barclay? South of Miller there. So we'll keep our eyes on that one as well. Definitely getting some inflow and some notching on that base reflectivity there. So definitely want to keep our eyes on that one. Going up to the south there. Definitely some areas of rotation to watch, guys. Like everybody's been kind of saying there in the chat. Really appreciate that. Hey, Jonathan, good to see you. 200 subscribers, guys. That's awesome. Thank you so much for your support. I was at 100, I think, last week, and the amount of support, guys, is just unbelievable. I really appreciate it. To hit 200 subscribers is well outside of my expectations. Didn't know what I was getting myself into when I started the stream. I know a lot of people watch other streamers that are out there. I didn't even know they existed until I started my channel, and they do great jobs, and I hate being in competitions with them. And we're not competing. We're just here to make sure we're doing our part in getting the streams out. At least I'm not competing with them, and I'm sure they don't even know who I am and who if I exist. But definitely here to just make sure I get it out. I do it for free, guys, and I really appreciate all the support. So definitely appreciate it. Thank you, Jonathan. Good to see everybody here. Yeah, it's crazy to see all the snow, guys. I know Denver. I have some coworkers in Denver that got dumped on snow today as well. So, yeah, I was just laughing at Jonathan's comment. That's what I'm talking about. I just got it. Just got it. That's good. That's good. I thought that was a name or something, Jonathan. Good, good with that one. I really appreciate it. Um, but yeah, absolutely, guys. But yeah, Denver got some snow. They got dumped on some snow today, which is crazy. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate it, guys. Um, but I might have to turn it off if it gets too crazy, but that would be a good problem to have, actually. I'm not about the subscribers if you guys are just new here. The only reason I like the subscribers means we're reaching more people. So that's good. Thank you for the subscription. I really appreciate it again. Um, but it just means we're getting the warnings out to more people, and the more you guys share the streams out to your Facebook pages and then your social medias, even with your cell phones, you might not know somebody that lives in these areas, but they might, they might have family in those areas, and they might see it and get that warning out to them as well. Was the degree of 6 separation, I believe, is what they call it. Everybody knows everybody by 6 people. And so that warning can go viral, and just making sure we get those warnings out there to everybody. So that's why I do it, and we can't do it without you guys' help to make sure those warnings get out there, and that's what we're here for. So let's see here. So watching that area of rotation, got some broader rotation up to the north there. Let's take a look at the Iowa cell since we haven't looked at that one as well. What is Chicago looking like? We'll take a look at Chicago. Chicago was okay earlier when we were looking at it. I want to take a look at the Iowa cell real fast, just because it was rotating a little bit. I just switched to it, but we do have some more severe thunderstorm warnings there as well. Not seeing any good areas of rotation, which is great to see. The one up there to the north definitely could be rotating a little bit. It's so far away from the radar, it's definitely elevated, so it's hard to say. But we'll see if we get a tornado warning out of that one, guys. I might need to switch my radar off because it's right on the cusp of the radar out there. I'm going to switch to the Davenport radar real fast just to make sure we get a good shot of that. It looks like there's some good high rotation in that storm. And if you guys are new here and don't know anything about the radar, I haven't explained this the last couple of streams, but you have your radar point, and as that radar point shoots beams out into the atmosphere of the Earth, curves, right? Not to get into a nerdy explanation of science and how things work, but the Earth curves a little bit. So those radar beams go up into the air, the Earth curves, and you start to see further into the atmosphere the further you get away from radars. And so that one's so far away from the radar, it's hard to say if there's any rotation in it without getting another look at the radar. With that other new radar image, um, let's see where we were at with that. I'm losing my bearings a little bit on that, but not seeing anything super rotating with that storm. In fact, they let the severe thunderstorm warning expire with it, it looks like. So as well, the one to the north there, let's see here. Nope, they didn't. But not that last radar image we were just looking at there by Savannah had quite a bit of radar rotation in it, but again, we were so far away from it we couldn't really see it. So that one looks okay for right now. We'll keep our eyes on it. And then we had the question about the Chicago area. I'll go ahead and pull this up here. We'll go ahead and jump to a Chicago radar. Why not? We haven't done that forever. Chicago doesn't get a lot of weather, so we'll go ahead and jump to the Chicago radar. You are getting some rain and some thunderstorms through there right now. Nothing severe warned as far as that goes. So you should be okay in the Chicago area for the next couple minutes at least. Definitely have a way of getting your warnings. You guys aren't in the high risk area, but this cell right here, just to your south of the Chicago area, did have a tornado on it earlier. As it goes further east from that area, it's starting to get into more unfavorable environments. So definitely want to be aware in the Chicago area. You could have a brief spin up at any given time with any of those storms going into your area. So make sure you have a way of getting your looks. You guys are not underneath the tornado watch, thankfully, but doesn't mean you couldn't get anything. But you'll have some supercells go in that area. We do have a risk for some tornadoes in your area as these cells move to the east. But that's the Chicago area. You guys are looking good for right now. So how's the Quad City going to fare tonight? So you guys are underneath the tornado warning for the Quad City area and the Davenport area until 10 a.m. Central Standard Time. And right now, we have not seen the outbreak of tornadoes that we thought we were going to see. However, as you guys know, let me do this real fast. I'll pull up the Davenport area for you for sure and show you that. But as you guys have already seen, if you guys are just now joining us, we'll go over a little bit. But we have these line of supercell thunderstorms going into the east or west part of Iowa, going through the Des Moines area right now. We can always get a brief spin up as it goes further in the east into those that environment. We definitely want to watch for that. But Davenport right now is good, and you guys are underneath that tornado watch until 10 a.m. 10 p.m. Central Standard Time. So make sure you guys have a way of getting that watch and those warnings tonight if you guys decide to go to bed. They could reissue it for you later on, depending on how these cells progress. So we'll see how that fares. But for right now, you guys are okay. And we'll see, you have another hour left in that tornado watch, and we'll see if they reissue it. So no discussions right now that I'm seeing, at least with that. So we have that little one down there. We might get a little bit of an extension by the Bloomington area, but I think that's already been issued with that last cell that we saw. So that's the Davenport area. You guys are good right now, which is good. But just make sure you have a way of getting those warnings as those cells move into your area from East Iowa. All right, let's see here. Those cells in Iowa are trying to organize. They're very messy, but we'll watch them to make sure they don't go anywhere for sure. So let's see here. Take a look at our radars again. Back to the Kansas City one. We haven't looked at that one for a little bit. Was watching some rotation on radar there. Looked pretty high and elevated. Okay, let's see here. Make sure we get the right one pulled up there for you guys. There we go. So a little bit of rotation right there by the Osage area. Nothing super tight, pretty messy, actually. Keep our eyes on it. And then going up northern, we do have some broad rotations up here. All supercells rotate, guys. Or all thunderstorms rotate, actually, I should say, not supercells. But all thunderstorms rotate. So you'll definitely see those rotation marks up here in the north as well, just outside of St. Joseph. But doesn't mean that it's getting down to the ground. It could be very high and elevated, especially depending on where you are from your radar. So definitely not seeing that threat in those lines right now, but the Osage area has a little bit of a notching out that we're watching, just getting into the Osage area, so definitely a possibility. Thank you for the subscription, really appreciate it. Let's see here, US 560. is what that highway is right through there, just to the west of Osage. So that's where we're seeing that rotation, but not a lot going on, guys, right now. So we'll see if we get the new watch come out here in a second. We'll see if that's been issued. Don't see it issued yet. We're seeing a good line of thunderstorms down into the Arkansas area, and we'll go ahead and take a look at those. They're not warned or anything yet, but that's what we're going to start watching to see how those cells react to the environment they're in. See, where can I pull that up here? We'll pull it up on this radar for right now. So we'll go ahead and take a look at those. There's your cells. We have some good cells coming into the Texarkana area. Again, nothing severe warned yet, but I'll go ahead and take a look at that on our other radar in the background here to make sure nothing's starting to rotate for you guys down there. But let's see. Like I said, I'd rather report nothing than report a ton of stuff. And happy to ease some minds if I can too. So if you guys are watching anywhere, have any questions about your area, I'm happy to answer those questions at any time. We'll see if I can get down there to the Fort Smith radar, I believe it is, by the Texarkana area. Or if it's, no, let's see. I take that back, not Fort Smith. That's a little bit too far north. Maybe Fort Smith. We'll see. Shreveport probably be better. Let's try the Shreveport radar. As that loads on my side, I'll take a look at that and I'll bring it up and kind of show you guys those cells as well. But I don't want you to look at nothing, obviously. So, but those are the cells I'm going to take a look for you guys here, especially around the Texarkana area. So, thank you, Tony, for being here. Really appreciate the help tonight. Really appreciate you being here, Tony. Good to see you. For sure. Have a great night. Thank you for your help. So let's go to the Kansas City radar. Let's see here. Got to bounce around a little bit on my radar. So, okay, so here's your Kansas City radar right here. Some cells down there by the Domino area, but nothing rotating at this point. But these cells are just starting to fire, and they could spin up at any given point. So we definitely want to keep our eyes on them. This is where our threat's going to come tonight into the late overnight hours if we do get that threat. So we'll keep our eyes on those for sure. They're starting to fire up a little bit down there. So we'll keep our eyes on it. Thank you for the subscription. Really appreciate it. Let's see here. So 52 people watching on YouTube, one on Twitch. Thank you so much for watching on Twitch and everybody on YouTube. Really appreciate that as well. Good to see everybody out tonight. So those are your cells down there in the Texarkana area. Nothing super crazy spinning right now. We do have a little bit of hail in there, which means we have some updraft. Of course, with all supercells, we have some updraft. Doesn't mean it's making it landfall yet. We'll take a look at the hail core. Not a lot of good hail signature on that storm as well. So that's again on the Shreveport radar. We could switch up to the Little Rock radar as those things start to move further. And you know what? Let's just switch it up there real fast and take a look at those other lines coming through there. Might take a little bit to load here, guys, but you guys are seeing it live on the air. It's a little bit down and dirty, but that's okay. That's where we get the most up-to-date information as we switch around to these radars. But as it's loading here, there we go. So not super crazy thunderstorms going through there as well. Super not well developed yet, but we're again just starting to see those develop. So we'll keep our eyes on it down there to the south as well. So those are your storms right now, guys. Again, we've gone without, hey, look at that. There's a rogue thunderstorm, destructive thunderstorm down there in Texas. Should we look at it? I think we should. So thanks, Jonathan. I really appreciate it so much. Let's see here. That's awesome, Jonathan. Thank you so much for your support. I really appreciate it. Anyway, we can get those warnings out. So Tennessee is good. Jonathan, I believe, is in Tennessee somewhere. And so we'll definitely appreciate him being here as well. So there's a rogue supercell there, guys. We saw one of those down in the same area. Gosh, one with a couple months ago that was just going out there dropping huge hail with that thunderstorm. That's potentially, let's see, that's a destructive thunderstorm by the National Weather Service by Frio and Medine, just out there of San Antonio. That's really interesting to see. Hopefully that's not rotating a little bit. We're a ways from our radar, actually. Let's see if I can get to a better radar from there. Maybe we can get to the San Antonio one. Take a look at it. But that's definitely interesting to see that one out there dancing down there to the south of San Antonio. We saw that a couple of months ago as well. So yeah, exactly. Those ginormous tops, super big updraft in there. Nothing rotating at least from that image that I'm seeing there, guys. I'm not going to do a huge deep analysis into it. We're not expecting tornadoes down there by San Antonio by any means, but we've seen weirder for sure. We'll take a look at the hail core though. That's a destructive thunderstorm by the National Weather Service, what they call it. And let's see here, that's going to be ping pong size hail with 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts. So that's a crazy to see that down there. We'll keep our eyes on that one just for the fun of it. But let's see, we have a confirmation by a train spotter of estimated 1-inch hail there in the Loma Vista area in Texas. So not expecting that one down there. But we have seen them down there before, and it seems like they're always in the Frio area for some reason. I'm not sure the demographics down there, not the demographics, the geography down there of the land and what causes that area to kind of get those weird ones. But we definitely see them. So what we could do, guys, one thing I do want to look at too, and I'll look at here on the air with you guys, just so you guys aren't looking at nothing since it's a little bit of a slow day. We'll look at the dew points headed into the area as well. And those dew points are important to kind of watch to see how far north they go, because it does cause that unstable air and that lift. And so let's see if I can get those pulled up for you guys here. Let's see. So here's your dew points, guys, happening. Looks like those dew points have come down quite a bit up in the Iowa area, which is good to see. We were seeing some stuff up in the high 60s, even 70s up in the dew point area earlier today. Down here in the south, as always, it seems like up into the 70s, up into Arkansas, we're seeing those 70 dew points as well. So that's going to be a favorable environment for some tornadic supercells tonight. Definitely favorable. Definitely, that's what the National Weather Service is calling it. So we'll keep our eyes on it. But that's your dew points, which is just one factor for causing some supercell thunderstorms to develop tonight. So let's see if I make sure I got that over to you guys. You might not even be seeing that, guys. If you guys ever see me, no, you guys did see it. I actually didn't mess myself up there. I almost fooled myself, but you're good. So those are your dew points that you guys are seeing there on your screen for sure. So we can take a look at some storm reports if we want to as well, give you guys something to look at um, as we go into that. We have some estimated wind there at the Hot Springs Memorial Field. Let's see what our wind is going to be for that one there over that. That's going to be 22 knots, so nothing super crazy for the gust there yet. We do have the down here in Texarkana, some scattered 60-foot or 6,000-foot sky is what you're looking for that clouds, and then your wind speed there is only 6 knots there by the Texarkana area, and that's nothing super high with those. So that's good. We're seeing that as well. So nothing else that I can see as far as damage that I'm looking at on my screen. And you guys are seeing again here live on the screen as well. So whenever it's a slow stream, we like to look at some of that stuff just for the fun of it, you know, and it kind of tells us what's going on in the environment, kind of what our dew points are. Seeing some rain there already, like I was saying there, just to the south of St. Louis by their regional airport there. So that's some rain reports and a lot of rain there around the South St. Louis area as well. So we'll keep our eyes on everything, guys. Definitely keeping our eyes on it. Thank you guys so much for being here. I really appreciate it. Hey, Linda, good to see you. You have joined a fairly boring, but that is the way we like it here, stream, as we have no tornado warnings right now. And it's been like that way for about an hour. So that's good. I'm from the EMS world, guys, if you guys know what EMS stands for. And we can't say the words Q and the words S. Let's start with Q and S because it jinxes us. So I'm not going to say those words right now because that is what's happening. And we'll keep on with that tradition of not saying those words. If you guys know that area, you guys know how what I'm talking about. If you don't, you probably could guess those words. They're not bad words, obviously, but it seems like whenever we say those words, it's like, you know, everything breaks loose, and we don't want to see that happen. So I'm not superstitious at all, except for with that. So I've seen it happen for sure. Um, but maybe on a stream when we're not expecting some severe weather, I'll explain that a little bit more, just to keep up with the fun. It's just a lot of fun to do that. We'll take a look at some of those Iowa storms again, guys, just make sure they're not rotating. Looks like they still got some good structure on them on this radar, so we'll take a look on there as well to see if we got any rotation. But that's good. We're not seeing a lot of rotation in Iowa because that's our highest threat area for right now is in the Iowa area. So let me see here. Let me get the radar pulled up for Iowa. We did a lot of jumping around on that radar, so I got to get those pulled back up again, guys. So bear with me a couple minutes as I get those loaded back up for you. But let's see here. New drinking game, guys, and this is a pet peeve of mine, and it's something that I do. But every time I say the word you know, that whole fun game of taking the shot. I did actually make some merch that says on it, and I haven't posted it just because. But I say all the time. It drives me nuts listening to it. So thank you for bearing through. I probably shouldn't have said anything because maybe you guys didn't see it. I just said it again. There you go. So feel free to make fun of it in the chat. I'm okay with that. So there's your, let's see, we'll go back to the Iowa storms. Let's see here. So there's your Iowa storms. Let me make sure I get that pulled up for you guys. So your Iowa storms are not rotating, which is a good sign. It's staying linear. The one to the north there definitely on this scan, way away from the radar, looks like it appears to be rotating. It's high level of rotation right now. We'll go to the Davenport radar just to make sure again that it's not down there on that radar. Again, when we get further away from those radars, you see that high level rotation, and all thunderstorms rotate. So we want to make sure we look at that. So I don't endorse drinking, by the way. I actually don't drink myself. So, but we'll take a drink of water. In fact, I haven't done that yet. So getting some wild gusts there south of Kansas City, keeping my eye on Topeka and whatever's heading our way. Will it strengthen or weaken? I do not have a crystal ball, Ryan. I wish I knew that answer. The environments are favorable for them to strengthen. Hopefully they don't start to spin, but we're keeping our eyes on those as well. There's a couple brief spin ups on there. As it's more linear in fashion, we can get those embedded supercells that start to spin a little bit, and definitely can happen. So let's see here. Okay, so there's your Des Moines, Iowa radar there. Still, like I said, that last radar image we saw, that one definitely looks like it's upticked a little bit. We could get a tornado warning out of this one, guys. We'll see if it starts to organize a little bit. It's kind of in the middle of radars right now. So we're still away from the radar here, still very high level rotation. But that last image definitely looks like we could be trying to get something happening. It did produce a tornado earlier that was on the ground. So we'll keep our eyes on it. We'll take a look at the hail core in there as well. Still a good, pretty good hail core. This sail is just going to be to the south here of US 20 by Walker. So we're watching that sail. Definitely could get something there as it cycles. We'll see what happens. So your mom was in RN, oh, your mom was an RN who worked in the local hospital ER for years. She never said the Q or the S word either at home. I know, right? It's something that just it's part of you when you get into that medical environment and that EMS environment. I'm sure if she worked in the ER, she knows how it is. So I'll explain that. If someone wants to explain it in the chat, feel free to do so. Robin, you're more than welcome to do so. But that is on you if you happen to cause an outbreak. So if you guys don't know what we're talking about, it's okay. We'll explain it in another day. So um, let's see here. So we got a relay from the Benton emergency manager there from the fire department of 1-inch hail measured there by Urban, Iowa. So this is definitely a good sell, guys. It's been severe warn. That last image definitely looks like we could be getting some rotation there. Again, it's starting to organize. And so we have our severe thunderstorm warning for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. And so we definitely want to keep our eyes on that one as it's trying to cycle again. We'll keep our eyes on that one for sure. So if you're in those areas, you definitely have that severe thunderstorm warning about ready to pop up there for you guys up north as well, as the storm's been kind of going for a while. Let's see here, just taking a look at this again, making sure I'm not missing anything. Doesn't have a super good ZDR arc on it, which is good as far as not being favorable for some strengthening, which is hard to explain here on the air, but definitely something we look at for sure. Good, good, Robin. Good to see you. So let's see here. Yeah, the doctor probably knows as well. So that's good to ask there, Linda. So again, guys, it's a really slow stream. We're not seeing a whole ton of stuff happen, but that's the way we want to see it. So And I might have, no, I'm not going to say it, so it's okay. We're not going to put that out there. Okay, so we're definitely watching the cell here. I do want to look at the Kansas City cells as well, as we do have a viewer there that was watching from the Kansas City area, making sure we're staying a little focused here since nothing's super happening right now, but it could happen. We did see some rotations down there by the Kansas City area, but they were very broad and heightened as well. So let me get the Kansas City radar pulled back up again, guys. We've been bouncing around a little bit, looking at everything, which is always good to do. So gotta get those back to loading again and take a look and see what we're seeing. If you guys have any questions from where you're watching, you guys can always throw it in there. Yeah, Kansas City, we're looking at that right now. Thank you. We're looking at that right now. Getting that pulled up for you. Thank you for reminding me on that one. I really appreciate that. So we'll take a look at Kansas City. Here we go. So you guys are seeing the Kansas City radar there getting pulled up. It is there. We have those severe thunderstorm warnings going on right now. We'll go ahead and read through those a little bit. Those are going to be for 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts and quarter-size hail. We have the one there, that's for the northern part here, so that big polygon right there. And then the one that's overlapping it to the south there is good for ping pong sized hail and 60-mile-an-hour wind gusts as well. So you have a good hail threat. Lots of confirmation and reports of hail there in the background. A lot of it's by the publics and a lot of it has been measured. One measured by the National Weather Service observer there of 1 inch there. Where is that at? That's going to be in the Escambia area, Shawnee, Kansas City area. So not a lot of rotation that we're seeing right now. They could spin up, but that's good. We see a couple broad areas of rotation in there, and hopefully they stay and continue to be broad, but nothing tight on radar right now. We'll switch to the MCI radar, which is a smaller radar, and we don't get to see as much of the storm, but that line we can get a good image of as well when it comes in. We won't be able to see our base velocity with that as well. So around the Porter area, good little cell there by the Porter area, and then Rushville area as well. But no rotation, so you're good in the Kansas City area for right now. You're in Nevada. It'd be exciting to have hail or even rain. We've gotten a lot of rain. I'm in the Arizona area. If you guys don't know, we've gotten a lot of rain here in Arizona this winter and fall, and even the springtime. And so, uh, super happy to see that for sure. All of our lakes are pretty much full in Arizona, which is good to see as well. Some of them are over full. They're having to release these spillways and let some of the water out. So that's good to see here in the desert. We have what they call a super bloom happening right now with our flowers, our wildflowers, and so that's pretty to see as well. So that's really cool to see. We'll go ahead and jump back to this other radar just to keep it up and have the bigger radar turned on. But nothing in the Kansas City area. We're looking good so far with that, for sure. Let's see. Yeah, so one thing about our stream, guys, since this is a slow stream, we get to talk about it since we talked about the desert a little bit. Have some cool things planned for the stream. We've only done radar analysis so far on my channel. I've been doing this since January, but we have some cool stuff coming up that I got planned. One thing in particular I'm super excited about. Haven't heard anything yet about that, but I'll let you guys know when I do hear something. And then this summer we have some good stuff planned to get out of the office and into the field a little bit and show you guys around some, do some cool things in the stream that will be a lot more fun, lighthearted streams that we can actually do some fun stuff and keep people engaged throughout the summer with things that are going on. So when they do have the severe weather that's happening, we'll make sure that they get those notifications as well. So that's kind of the goal with the channel, and just I like to have fun as well. So for sure, Lake Mead is up to 80 feet. That's awesome. I know Lake Mead was really hurting there for a while for water. I'm not sure what full would be. I'm not sure what percentage that is, Linda, but I know they needed rain there at Lake Mead for sure. So, all right. That's what's going on right now, guys. You guys are seeing everything live here on the air. I mean, we'll take a look down here in the Arkansas area as the storm started to push in a little bit, see if they were developing anymore. So definitely seeing some cells in there, but not anything super crazy. South of Prescott there in the Texarkana area, seeing some cells in there as well. But nothing's been warned. We'll see if they've even issued. We haven't even issued the new tornado watch. So let's see if I can take a look at that for you guys here and see what's going on with that. That's the area they're talking about there. There's an 80% chance of an issuance there for that tornado watch happening by the National Weather Service. And hopefully they continue to just discuss it and they don't issue it. But that's a pretty high chance from the National Weather Service. We're going to see that threat later on tonight. So we'll keep it going here for a couple more minutes. We'll say another 20 minutes as those storms get into the Kansas City area. And then if nothing's happening, I might take a quick break. We might even leave the radar up if you guys want to watch that. Hear those warnings come out. You guys let me know what you guys want to do. And then we'll go from there to make sure that everybody's getting those warnings tonight. But we have had a underperformance of a night, which is great to see. I know a lot of the people that are out there that follow storms. I know that can be a bummer sometimes if you love weather, but I'm always super happy about it. And not good for channel content, so I super appreciate you guys sticking with me through here. But I never want to see anybody get hurt, and nobody gets hurt when we have an underperformance of a night. So that's good to see. So let's see here. We'll go back to that Kansas City radar there real fast. Make sure we're not seeing any brief spin ups, but nothing. Definitely some elevated rotation in there, but nothing super crazy. So good to see. We'll see if that new tornado watch gets issued soon. We have the new other tornado watch getting to expire here in about 30 minutes, a little more than 30 minutes, 37 minutes for the Iowa area. Let's talk about that. We haven't talked about that. If you guys are just joining me, we'll talk about the Iowa threat and the Illinois threat and kind of how that's looking as well, because we haven't really talked about that for a couple minutes. So we'll talk about that. So here's your, we'll turn this off, get that big circle off your screen there. That's not fun to see. So, okay, here, so this pink area, we'll turn everything else off here, just so it's not confusing for you guys. If it'll let me turn it off. Oh, my computer might have froze. Nope, we're still good. Okay, there we go. Okay, so this big purple pinkish area here in the middle is your tornado watch. Looks like they extended it a little bit down here to the south. That one's in effect till 10 p.m. Central Daylight Time. So that's going to expire here in about 26 minutes. They did not have a discussion out for extending that I saw, so that is good. So those are all issued at this point. Your severe thunderstorm watch up to the north is there. That's going to expire at 1 p.m. Central Standard Time. And then down to the south, you have the extension down here to the south, all the way down to Oklahoma now, of the severe thunderstorm watch. That's going to be, for the northern part of that, going to be there for, let's see here, till midnight for this polygon. You have your hard line right through there, and this one to the south is going to be until 3 a.m. Central Daylight Time as well. So they're anticipating some more severe thunderstorms popping up through there well into the overnight hours as well. So we'll see what happens with that. But severe thunderstorm watch, no new tornado warning or watches as well right now. We haven't had anything for a little bit, so that's good as well. Yeah, the nightmare tornadoes are terrible, of course. Supposed to cool off behind the front. Yeah, that's a good point too. We can talk a little bit about that up here to the north. We talked a little bit about it as well, but you're seeing blizzard-like conditions up here in the northern Dakota, Minnesota area, up towards the Grand Fork area, and that's let's see what the reports are here from the airport. Let's see, we have sleeting snow there at the Grand Fork Airport, blowing snow, freezing fog. So that's definitely some good snow through there. Let's see about this airport here. Same thing, freezing fog and some snow for the Grand Forks Air Force Base there. Municipal Field has got just some light snow happening there just to the south of Crookston. So not a lot happening there as well, but storms are struggling down in Arkansas. Yeah, they are. They really are, and that's good to see. I'm excited about that. I know it's not, like I said, good content, but like I said, I'm one of those people that like to see nothing happen, which is weird, right? I don't get anything to talk about. It's hard to hold the air on a live stream with nothing to talk about, but that's okay. I'm totally good with that. So gonna do it without you guys hanging in there as well. So we'll take a look at the Iowa storm. It looks like it's trying to wrap up there. It's been trying for a while. They're definitely struggling down there in Iowa as well. So let's see what I was gonna say. Oh, let's talk about one thing we haven't talked about tonight is tomorrow's threat. We want to talk about that. So let me get that pulled up for you guys to see tomorrow's threat, because that is a interesting threat to say the least, for sure, with the chance for tornadoes up into the Michigan, even New York area. So we'll take a look at that as well. So let me get that pulled up for you guys, and we'll take that switch over real fast. So let's see here. Okay, I got it. So let's transfer over there. So here's your threats, guys. If you guys are new here, this is from the National Weather Service, the SPC Storm Prediction Center. This is our threat for today. They've actually updated the threat. They dropped the high threat. You know, let me zoom this up a little bit so you guys are seeing it as well. You guys can see it pretty good, hopefully. But you have dropped the moderate threat up here to the north in the Iowa area. That's good to see. We had 2 threats up into that area. They still have the one down here in the Arkansas area, which is good. So that's today's threat. And if you guys again are new here, we're talking about just the overall potential chance of severe weather that's going to happen today. And then when they break it down even further from there to the tornado threat, which is there, you have your high threat 15% there in the middle with the hashed area of a potential for an EF2 to EF5 tornado within 25 miles of any given point in that black hashed area. So that's what that's for. And then your wind and your hail threats is the same as well. So you have that, but let's talk about tomorrow. We haven't talked about that tomorrow. Here's our threat for tomorrow. We have a good enhanced threat all the way up into the Illinois, Indiana, Ohio, Michigan area as this threat starts to go from the east and the southeast and starts to eject to the north and the east there. We're going to see some areas that don't get a lot of severe weather tomorrow up into the Michigan area, have some potentials for that as well. There's your tornado threat tomorrow, mostly in the Michigan area. We have that black hash mark, which is rare for that northern part of the country as well. And so that's something that we got to watch for tomorrow. The timing on that is going to be interesting to see how these storms have progressed and changed that. We're anticipating usually into the afternoon, maybe even in the morning hours, but that could go either direction as this front is pushing and not catching that jet stream like it was earlier. So we'll keep our eyes on that one. But here's your wind threat as well as your hail threat for tomorrow up in the Michigan area. So we'll see if we cover this one tomorrow or not, guys. It's hard, to say what's going to exactly happen here. Definitely a lower threat from tomorrow than it was yesterday. But if it gets into the populated areas, especially in the areas that don't get a lot of severe weather, I do like to cover those if I can to make sure that we're getting those warnings and information out to those guys. So if you guys have anybody in the Michigan area tomorrow and the upper Illinois, Midwest, Great Lakes area, let them know that they're underneath a threat because a lot of times they don't get that. So your hometown of Southeast Michigan is under the gun tomorrow. Yeah, absolutely. Most of Michigan has a chance for some weather tomorrow as well. And I don't know anything about this really, the weather that affects the Great Lakes if you have the boats up there. Of course, they have to get small craft advisories and stuff like that, which I don't talk about a lot on my channel because I don't know a lot about them. We live in Arizona, we have no boats here. So, so that's definitely a thing to consider if you do have a boat up in that area, anybody that's on a boat. They need to be aware of those water spouts that can go over the water, form over the water and come up in the Michigan area. So we're definitely watching that tomorrow. We'll take a look at the rest of the week. I did see someone say something about a potential for the last part of the week as far as a threat. I'm not seeing anything right now myself as far as the models go, and then the National Weather Service is not saying anything either. The potential is too low. Does not mean it can't increase. There is a small system that's going to be working its way through the Southwest that could cause something to happen that we're watching. But again, if you guys are new here, you guys know me. I try not to speculate a lot on that because I don't want to put bad information out, and it changes so fast. So we're not seeing a lot of threat with anything for the next 7 to 8 days. But again, I will brief you on my Twitter and my Facebook if I see anything change as well. So make sure you subscribe to that. Make sure you have a way of getting the National Weather Service's updates as well. They do great jobs posting stuff on their Twitter. So that's our threats for the next couple of days, guys. So definitely want to make sure something happens, but not going to happen. Going to go to sleep. Okay, yeah, I hope so, Billy. Thank you for joining. I don't blame you for going to sleep. Thank you for joining. I really appreciate your time here and your support. So I don't blame you at all, guys. If you guys want to go to sleep, it is now currently 9:30 Eastern Standard Time. And so what we're going to do is we're going to take a quick look around at the Iowa storms, and then we'll take a look at the Arkansas storm. They are struggling to produce and rotate anything at all. And then if we aren't getting anything at that point, guys, we might just end the stream and call it a night for right now. We're going to have that threat later on into the evening, and we might start the stream back up again if things get crazy. So we're definitely going to watch that for sure, and that's going to be our plan for the rest of the night. But if you guys are in those warning areas that we talked about earlier, Make sure you have a way of getting your warning. Just because I'm on the air doesn't mean it's not serious. We had 2 tornado warnings that happened right before I got on the air, and I just can't cover all of them, right? They pop up, they're on there for 5, 10 minutes, and they go away. And obviously, you guys would get so annoyed at the notifications if I was to go on it every single time. So 22:30, yes, that would be 10:30 tonight. Yeah, absolutely. I'm not sure what that means there, but and mods, feel free to check out the Nightbot list in the chat, see if it's working. You guys feel free to play with that as much as you want to. If you guys have already tried and it's not working, just forget what I said. But I did see Nightbot pop up there, and I did throw that command list there in the chat. So you guys might be able to play with that a little bit if you want to. And if not, no big deal. So let's take a look at these storms again, guys. That one to the north there that we were watching for rotation, we did not get a tornado warning on it, which is great. There we go. There's Nightbot. Good to see. Awesome. Okay, very cool. And if you guys see any typos, I'm terrible with typos, so let me know. I'll be glad to switch that around too. So, but the northern storm there in Iowa, no rotation there, very broad rotation. So nothing there. So that's a good checkbox off of the night as well. And so we're looking down here to the south again to these storms. We'll switch radars back to the Des Moines radar and see if there's anything rotating there and go from there. We'll take a look at the Kansas City storms and then back down to the Arkansas storms and go from there. And if nothing, we'll call it a night. So everything calm in Northeast Texas. Northeast Texas, yes, everything is kind of calm. You guys have some storms in the Texarkana area we'll look at, but nothing rotating and no warnings or watches issued for you guys within the last 20 minutes. So that's good. So that cells to the north there with that triangle on it, still no rotation in there, still a good hail threat. You can see these are starting to get more linear as they push further east, which is not favorable for tornadoes, but you get those damaging winds with it. So definitely something we want to be aware of. They even dropped all the tornado watches down through Iowa, guys, which is interesting. The only tornado, I'm sorry, not tornado, thunderstorm warnings down into Iowa, which is interesting. And then we have the ones down here in the Mississippi area. We'll reload that radar for you guys as well. And then we'll take a look at the Texarkana area in Northeast Texas here in a second. So stick with me there for about another 5, 10 minutes and you'll see that here on the radar. But let's see here. We went to the wrong radar there. Let me get back to the other one. That one loaded, but that one didn't show anything that was super concerning. We have seen a little bit of high rotation and elevated rotation here in the top of the storm. So nothing super crazy there, but there's a couple rotations there still, elevated rotations. Again, we could get that brief spin up, but it's very elevated and very disorganized. So nothing to be concerned of that I'm concerned of with there at all, really. But it definitely could still spin up at any given time. It's hard to say on the radar too what's happening on the ground, but that one definitely doesn't look super crazy. So that's your Kansas City storms there. We're definitely going to keep our eyes on them throughout the rest of the night. I will for sure if I'm out the air. Doesn't mean I'm going to bed as well. I'm here watching you guys. On most of the storms, I can't go to sleep. So it's just in my blood. So just know if I get out there, I'm still watching it for you guys. And if you guys haven't done so already on Discord, there is a I'm new to Discord, so I think it's called a channel on Discord. Correct me if I'm wrong, and it will post all the National Weather Service's Twitter account, tornado warnings and watches there as well, so you guys can stay up to date on there on my Discord. And then you guys can always go follow them on Twitter if you have a Twitter. It's a great way of getting information. But if you don't have a Twitter, that's a way of getting the information out there. I'm not political. I know there's a lot of back and forth of people getting off Twitter and on Twitter and whatever happens. And so in as many ways as I can get you guys warnings, I will, just in case. I understand that people have their beliefs and that's okay. So I'll make sure that I can do my part to get those warnings out to you guys. So, all right, let's go down to the Texarkana area because we have someone looking from there. And it's good to see you, Texorist. I think is how you say that. Good to see you. I know I've seen you on streams before, so good to see you. That was the wrong radar there. We'll switch to the Shreveport radar. And we'll take a look at these storms. We did see some cells starting to fire. They weren't spinning as well, so that's okay, but we'll see what happens with these cells. So these are pretty weak cells down here. We're well outside the radar. We might switch to the little rock as well, but no rotation from that radar. And again, if you've seen that purple folding where you can kind of see the radar, let me see if I can get the circle on here. So here's your radar range. So I'll turn off the radar real fast. And you can see kind of the range of the radar. But as you get further away, you don't really see a lot that's going on the ground, and you really get above the cloud top. So all those circles are kind of your radar range there. And if we turn it back on, you can kind of see where that folding happens, where you get above the radar. The radar beams just don't come back very good. So even though the range is that high, you can still see some stuff up into here. It's not good information that's coming back. Your good information is inside that purple circle. And again, that purple circle is called folding. So that's how that works. So let's go back up to, that was the Shreveport radar. We're going to look at the Little Rock radar, see if those cells are doing anything. We get those rings off the screen there. And take a look at those cells as they're coming through. I don't think it's going to happen tonight, guys. We'll see. But that's a good sign. Arkadelphia, that is an interesting name for a name. Yeah, not a lot there, guys. So very small cells moving into that area. Let's see if they issued a new watch. Again, our risk is going to be more into the overnight late hours. And so definitely want to have a way of getting our warnings that these cells could definitely mature and the ones behind it can definitely develop down further south. So still haven't issued a new watch yet either, guys. So that's everything as well. I'll give you guys a couple more minutes if you guys have any more questions you want to throw in the chat. Anything else you want to talk about, I'm good with talking about that as well, and see if we get anything that comes to fruition. But if you guys have anything else better to do, you guys are more than welcome. Hook and Clinton, where's that at K4? I'm not sure where where Clinton's at. We'll take a look at it. I didn't see anything hooking on my side, but I could have missed it. So let me know where that's at K4. I'll take a look at it. But let's see, what does K4, or what does K have? K might have something somewhere. That's possible. K knows quite a bit. Oh, there we go. You guys found I see what they are. Yeah, the commands for the mods are in our mod chat. So if you guys take over there, that's good. ZDR, I can go through ZDR if you want to talk a little bit about that. Yeah, absolutely, Andrew. They should be in the mod chat, but if they're not working, we'll talk about that later. But yeah, we'll definitely look at that. It looks like you guys got them down though. Looks like you've been using them, so good to know. Okay, ZDR. We'll talk a little bit about ZDR. Give me the Clinton area. Is that Clinton, Missouri, Iowa? And we can try to explain some of the ZDR with that if you guys are interested in the ZDR. It's a little bit confusing to kind of explain, especially when it's hard to see it on radar, but it's kind of the accumulation of precipitation, kind of. I don't know if I want to try to get into explain it because I understand it. It's just hard to teach. The National Weather Service has a great explanation on it. You can look it up on YouTube as well. There's a lot of good information out there, but let's see if I can get that back. I don't want to give the wrong information for sure. Let's see, the Clinton area. Let's see, I'm not sure where Clinton's at. Let's see if we can get a good ZDR arc on one of these. It's very disorganized. But what it basically is there's not a lot of good supercells on there to look at, but I'm not sure what you mean by SBQ either, so I don't see that on mine. But yeah, so not sure where that's at, but the ZDR, you can definitely take a look at that on your site as well on YouTube. But take a look on our Discord if you have me on Discord or on Twitter. Be glad to answer the question, or on Facebook. Definitely can point you to some ways of learning some more things. That's one thing I'm going to do on the Discord as well, guys, is build out some more information on kind of some educational pieces of different things on storms and radars. If you guys are interested, I'd be glad to try to tell you that a little bit more and kind of share that knowledge out with anybody that's interested. So education and knowledge is power, of course. So, okay, guys. Let's see, looking at the severe thunderstorms in the middle, hooking a bit. Yeah, I'm not sure. I haven't seen a whole ton happen out there myself. But if you guys are just now joining us, we did a quick brief overview of everything happening in the area. No tornado warnings happening. Nothing really rotating as well right now, but our threat's going to be remaining to the late and overnight hours in the Arkansas south area that we're going to be watching for sure. So we're waiting for that new tornado watch to come out. I'll post about it on my Twitter and my Facebook if it does come out. If you guys are new here, click the subscribe button, get the bell notification. You guys will get the notification tonight if I go live again. If things get crazy, make sure that bell notification is set to all because YouTube has a weird way of making you select that. So if you guys have that, make sure that both bell notifications checked to all, and you'll get those notifications as well. Discord is a great way to get some information as well when we're off the air, as well as notifications when we go live on the air. So really appreciate if you guys join that and want to join that, get those notifications. That's a great way of doing it as well. And thank you for our mods for posting everything. Thank you for our mods tonight as well. Andrew Broadwater, we had Kay in here as well, and Linda Belk. I know Kay's been on a stream all day. Agenda Free TV is an awesome place. I always try to call him out. He's a great person to go watch. He covers breaking news as well as some tornado outbreaks and weather as well. He's been a great asset for me, and I really appreciate his friendship that he's been able to do with some of me getting my stream set up, just answering some simple questions that some people won't even do. But he's a great person to watch. So go check out Agenda Free TV. I know Kay has been modding for them all day, covering some of the political stuff that's been happening in the country there. So no bias, and that's great. He just reports on the news. It's great to see. So Agenda Free TV on YouTube is where you can find that. But yeah, back to the notification. You guys can get the notifications through Discord and YouTube. I am streaming now on Twitch, so if you have anybody that knows anybody on Twitch, really appreciate the support over there on Twitch. I think I got my first subscriber over there, follower. Not familiar with that, but always happy to help any way I can. That'd be great as well. So yeah, Linda, he does awesome news. I put him on in the background for sure when I'm working, just because I don't want to hear the nonsense. And if anything happens with that thing that's happening, I know he'll report it, and I can just listen to him. It's very good stream as well, and he's a good guy to cover. So keeps it very neutral. So let's see here. Time for me to head off. Nice to find this channel. Thank you, Robin, for being here. Sorry it was a little bit of a slower stream, but again, we like that. Really appreciate you being here and your support. And then again, make sure you hit that bell notification. We're here for 12 hours on Friday, and I'm glad this stream is not like that for so far. So we will be here to cover it if it does get that way. But thank you for being here. I really appreciate you being here. So that's about it, guys. Thank you so much for being here. I have nothing more to say. I'm not going to keep you guys all night. Go have a good rest of your night. Make sure you have a way of getting your warnings. Make sure you have multiple ways of getting your warnings. Again, I heard earlier from the storms that happened Sunday morning, I think it was, that their notifications on their phone didn't go off, and they slept right through the notifications, and the sirens didn't go off. So that's why we talk about getting multiple ways of getting your warnings for sure, and make sure you guys get those of course. So I think we got a spammer in there, which is okay. No worries. The privateer, y'all. Oh, I said y'all. Is that wasn't a call out? Okay, I gotcha. No worries. I'm not sure what Nightbot is not happy about there, but that's okay. That's Nightbot. He gives you the warnings first, so that's okay. I think you're okay there. So really appreciate it. No big deal. I thought you were calling out another channel there, which is okay. I don't have a problem with that either. So. No big deal. No big deal, Privateer. You're good. So just ignore Nightbot on that. I saw what you put on there. You're good. So I'm not sure what he's talking about. Well, I'll have to go back and look at that. So thank you guys again. Appreciate everything. Make sure you have a good way of getting your warnings tonight. Multiple ways of getting your warnings. NOAA radios, check those batteries. Make sure in case you lose power, those things have batteries in there, and make sure they're turned on and ready to go tonight if you're in those warning areas. So any questions you guys have, feel free to put them in the Discord or anything else like that. Have a good night, guys. Really appreciate the support. I'm so excited we hit 2,000 subscribers tonight. That is awesome. And again, any way you guys can share this stream out would be great. It just means we're getting those warning outs to everybody. So super thankful and appreciative. Can't do it without your guys' support. Thank you for hanging with me through a somewhat dull stream, but that's again how we like it. Appreciate everything that you guys have always done. Always do your weather checks. Keep safe. Check on your neighbors. Check on the elderly. Make sure that they're getting what they need. I didn't talk about that on the stream today, but make sure you're checking on everybody. Be good neighbors. Make sure that people have places to go and they're taken care of as well. And we'll see you guys in the next stream. Again, make sure you hit the bell notification. If things get crazy tonight, I will cover them. So have a good night tonight, guys, and be safe. And we'll see you guys in the next one.